105, and in Chennai, petrol is also 103. But why now? Why is this hike happening at this point? Remember, before the West Asia war escalated on the 28th of Feb, this year, the Brent crude was at $73 a barrel. Look at that number. 73 going up different ways, different times of the war when it started. Now, finally, it has crossed that mark as well. It crossed 126 also at one particular point. In just about 60 days, it stands at around 200 and, going out a little further there. The Strait of Hormuz is closed, and with that, 45% of India's crude oil supply route, it's stuck there. Now, India has to find oil elsewhere. This means longer routes, it means costlier routes. The oil minister confirmed that the state-run companies were absorbing the losses of 1,000 crore every single day just to hold prices steady. Now, that could not go on forever, he said. The rest of the world had already raised prices. India did not. India was in the middle of 4 critical state elections. What was a political pause on price rise has today been financially unpaused. The government has laid out its intentions in stages. If you see March 27th, crude at $122 a barrel, Oil Minister Hardeep Puri cut the excise duty on petrol and diesel, saying the government was taking a hit on its own finances to shield the customers. A shield, remember, not a permanent fix. This is what the oil minister said. Then came the comment on the 12th of May, where he posted on social media, confirming that OMCs are losing 1,000 crore a day and calling out critics who said that a crisis was coming. Same week, the RBI governor weighs in. Sanjay Malhotra says that it is just a matter of time before the government passes on some of the price increase. So 3 voices, 1 direction. Industry sources say that 3 rupees is roughly 1/10 of the correction actually needed. Let that sink in. 1/10. Companies were reportedly losing 100 rupees per litre on diesel and 20 rupees per litre on petrol. The gap is large. More hikes perhaps expected in phases. Total correction of petrol could be about 23 rupees, diesel could be about 30. The pattern is already visible. Prime Minister's conservation appeal first, excise cut, then, and now the increase of 3 rupees. More possibly to follow. Was the Prime Minister's appeal a way to prepare us for the times to come? Expectation management, it's called. Fuel price changes feed into transportation costs, remember, within 2 to 3 months, pushing up food and goods prices across the board. And 3 rupees today will show up on your grocery bill soon. And what comes next will add to that as well. The question we are asking tonight is this just the beginning of a long-drawn price increase? Is this 3 rupees just 1/10 of what is actually about to hit your and my wallet?
वेतन बढ़ नहीं रहे, रेट बढ़ी जा रहे हैं मार्केट के अंदर हर एक आइटम के। जो बढ़ा है ठीक है, और बढ़ेगा तो कुछ नहीं होगा।
ਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਅਸਰ ਪਊਗਾ ਜੀ। ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਫਾਰਮਿੰਗ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਸਾਡੇ ਤੇ ਤਾਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਪ੍ਰੈਸ਼ਰ ਪਊਗਾ ਜੀ।
मजबूरी है कि बात चल रही है, उसका असर पड़ेगा सबको।
कल दूध इतना महंगा हो गया तो महंगाई तो बढ़ती ही जा रही है हर तरह से।
गवर्नमेंट के पास भी ऑप्शन लेस है, क्योंकि कुछ ना कुछ गवर्नमेंट को भी अब ना करे तो भी प्रॉब्लम है।
The long expected fuel price hike is finally here. Oil marketing companies have announced a 3 rupee hike in fuel prices and a 2 rupee increase in CNG prices. The price hike is said to have a cascading effect, leading to price rise. India Today tracked the impact from every major city after the fuel price hike.
diesel, petrol prices have been hiked by around 3 rupees. If you talk of Kashmir, the latest today's price of petrol is 104.04, means around 3 rupees 9 paisa. The prices have increased, and as far as diesel is concerned, it's around a hike of 2.98 rupees.
In Delhi, if you are buying petrol this morning, it will cost you 97 rupees 81 paisa, and for diesel you will have to spend 90 rupees 71 paisa. This increase for CNG is nearly 2 rupees.
Fuel prices have been hiked across India, and I'm coming to a place from Bengaluru, a petrol station or a fuel station where you can see people coming here to fill in their tanks. Rupees 3 is the hike has been put in place right now. The price right now per litre in Bengaluru is somewhere around 106 rupees. So you can see 106.22 per litre of fuel, and diesel stands at 94.09.
The Aam Janata shared their concerns over the increased financial impact of the fuel price hike.
सर 2 दिन के संकेत से तो नहीं होगा, 2 दिन में आप संकेत दे देंगे तो आदमी तो परेशान हो जाएगा।
हमें बहुत परेशानी का सामना है, पैसे बढ़ गए तो नुकसान है हमारा ही।
पेट्रोल बढ़ेगा, CNG बढ़ेगी, सब चीज बढ़ेगी, तो सामान का भी ऐसा भी बढ़ेगा।
And the hike comes just days after Prime Minister Narendra Modi gave the mantra of saving and spending wisely and urged people to conserve fuel.
मेरी देश के हर नागरिक से अपील है, जहां संभव हो पेट्रोल डीजल का उपयोग कम करें, मेट्रो का उपयोग करें, इलेक्ट्रिक बस और पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्ट का अधिक इस्तेमाल करें। सरकारी और प्राइवेट दोनों ही दफ्तरों में वर्चुअल मीटिंग्स और वर्क फ्रॉम होम को प्राथमिकता दी जाए।
The Prime Minister led by example and significantly reduced the size of his convoy to save fuel. Several other political leaders followed suit. Just days ago, oil companies had hiked commercial LPG cylinder prices by 993 rupees. If the West Asia crisis doesn't end soon, citizens may have to brace for even tougher times ahead. With Nagarjun Dwarkanath, Amit Bharadwaj, Kamaljeet Kaur Sandhu, Asim Bassi and Mir Farid, Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, but let me explain to you what really is happening when it comes to petrol and diesel prices and why we say the 3 rupee is just a trial balloon, okay? So imagine that there was a price that you and I were paying, and there is a price that the companies, that the oil companies were paying. The oil companies were paying a price for petrol, at least we are told, if we look at the number given by the petroleum minister himself on his social media, 24 rupees more than what you and I pay, okay? On diesel, they were paying around 30 rupees more, okay? Now, out of this 24, the government said it is going to let go of some of its own margins to ease out the pressure on the companies. So I'm just giving you for your understanding, it's not an accurate number, but say this number comes down to 20. Let me see if this makes sense. The government said, okay, we'll ease it out, let's bring it to 20, okay? Now, what is the price hike that we have seen so far? Only one time so far after the elections, which is 3 rupees. Now, this increase in price has come. This is only 3 rupees. What does this tell you? That there is still a deficit of 17. Where will this 17 come from? That is the question. What we are made to understand from experts, from sources within the government at the moment, is that the only logical thing for the government to do at this time is to give you a staggered increase. So say it's 3 rupees right now, it will be another 3 or 5 later, and that entire margin of 17 will be met. So ultimately, this is the price we've got to pay, 20 rupees more. This is just to make you understand how these numbers are actually panning out. Now, is there something that can the government really do something about it? Well, different governments, different economies have all given out warnings. If you hear what the Singapore head had to say, if you hear other countries as well, they've all warned their public that the times ahead are tough. So prep up for it. The Prime Minister's so-called spend wise mantra was also in a way a warning, was expectation management to tell us that times are tough. Spend less, and immediately 3 days later, you see what has happened. This is what the question now is: how soon will Hormuz open, and how soon can this be cut down? But what happens to the deficit in the middle? But the takeaway from this entire calculation is this, and remember, this is just petrol. And this is just petrol that I've told you about. Diesel is much wider, and this will actually have an impact on pricing even more. But what will the government do in days ahead will be interesting to watch out for. I'm told I have SC Garg, former finance secretary, with me, joining us for more details on this. And let me get across to him and understand a little more. Mr. Garg, thank you so much for joining us. I was trying to do a rough calculation here to see how exactly the days ahead are going to look like. What is your understanding? Do you think this 3 rupee hike at the moment is just a trial balloon, just the tip of the iceberg? Phased wise increase is the only option and is the only logical thing to happen in the coming days?
So there are large under-recoveries, which you have pointed out, 24, 30 rupees. Someone has to bear the cost of it. Either the government bears it, or the oil companies bear it, or the consumers bear it. The government earlier reduced the excise duties by 10 rupees. That is what the government took upon itself, the hit on its finances. Now, for the rest, the oil companies were bearing it until now. And now it has been passed on to a small marginal extent to the consumers at about 3 rupees. There is a large gap. Oil companies cannot sustain this. Somebody has to take it. And therefore, if the situation continues as it is, at that the crude oil prices remain elevated at about $110, $120 per barrel, sooner or later the government will have to pass on. It makes sense not to give a big jolt at one go and prepare the people slowly. This 3 rupees, maybe next week or next 15 days, another 5 rupees. And in over a period of 2 months, if the prices continues to be like this, that is the way the government will have to pass on. The government cannot further reduce the taxes. The oil companies cannot bear it. And therefore, this is the most logical sense or measure in the given circumstances.
Right, that was my sense as well. But Mr. Garg, help me understand it. The measures, the spend-wise measures that the Prime Minister has asked the country to sort of move towards, what role do they play in the larger scheme of things here?
That is not really very encouraging to my mind. That's more symbolic. This is one of the weakest measures to my mind. The price increase is the hard measure. You have to allow the increase to take place and the economy to readjust, the consumers to readjust consumption. You can also have the option of passing it on to people in general. That is, for example, if the government decides that instead of raising the price to the consumers, it would provide subsidies from the budget to the oil companies. In that case, the whole of the deficit gets spread to the taxpayers in general. So that is how the government can take decisions. So, but it's unfair in that sense that those who are consuming petrol and diesel, instead of them bearing the cost of it, those who don't even consume, that is spread over them. So of the three avenues available, either you raise prices or you allow it to be spread in general by taking a hit on the government, or allow the oil companies to bleed to losses. So these are the three options available.
Got it.
I think the safest...
I'm trying to understand, Mr. Garg, why did you say it's the weakest? What did you mean by that?
See, weakest in the sense that you make an appeal. Now, appeal is adhered to or accepted or not accepted depends upon the consumers. So let us take the case of petrol and diesel. The diesel is used more for the agricultural operations and also to some extent in industry. So restaurant industry and the agriculture farmers use it. Now, if they decide to cut down on the use of diesel, that would mean that the crops would suffer, or the industrial production would suffer. That is actually a worse remedy than a good one. The only section where the consumers directly, those who use it for automobiles or transport, etc., they may switch over to the other means. But if you take the given state of transportation available in the country, let us take Delhi, for example. The metros are already over-choked.
Yeah.
The
they don't have the
middle class
capacity to take it.
uses the private vehicle doesn't find the metro option to be a good option. It may not actually be very convenient from the time point of view or in the cost point of view. Because
safety as well.
Poor connectivity from homes, stations, coming out, the crowd, and other
My understanding is, Mr. Garg, this was Prime Minister's way of sort of forewarning people about the hikes. That's my personal understanding. I just think it was just a way to manage expectations and tell people that this is going to happen. I think that's what he was trying to do, because a lot of it, I don't see private offices cutting down work from home. I don't see schools shutting down. I don't think a COVID-like measure will actually take place when it comes to private adoption. It's still early days. Absolutely. I don't know if that will happen, but that's not the sense that I'm getting from private sector. But for the moment, Mr. Garg, for calling it as it is and for sharing all your knowledge with us, thank you so much for joining in. All right, some more updates coming in there. And we are now told that after Prime Minister Modi's spent-wise call, the Supreme Court has issued a circular for virtual hearing and work from home. Virtual hearings on Monday and Friday for now. Supreme Court judges have set also a carpool for themselves. Court staff has been put on 50% work from home. So the Supreme Court now responding to that call and by the Prime Minister. Anisha Mathur, my colleague, joins us for more. Anisha, how will this work out?
Well, you remember on the 12th of May, the DOPT in fact issued a circular asking department heads across the government to try and ensure work from home for 50% of the people can work from home for up to 2 days, and that is exactly why the Supreme Court has now issued these guidelines. It's not just for Mondays and Fridays. Any days where miscellaneous day, which are declared miscellaneous days of procedure in the Supreme Court, which means that all of the summer vacation that begins from the 1st of July, 1st of June will also be fully video conferencing, Mondays and Fridays, of course, as well as next week, which is the last week of working before the summer vacations, will be fully video conferencing. Supreme Court trying its best to ensure that minimal lawyers come to the court premises. At the same time, 50% of the registry staff will be allowed to work from home for 2 days in the week. The registrar will in fact issue the calendar for the registry staff, and yet again apart from the lawyers are being asked to work from home, the judges will also be carpooling. So a big step being taken by the Supreme Court to ensure that the call made by the Prime Minister to save fuel and the DOPT circular to ensure work from home is followed.
All right, Supreme Court has done it. Will the other courts follow? Will the Delhi High Court, other high courts across the country, will they follow? That remains to be a question that we will be watching out for the moment. Thanks, Anisha, for bringing us up to speed with that. In fact, a little while earlier, with the same question, I did sit down with the Delhi's Cabinet Minister Mojinder Singh Sirsa to understand how exactly is this work from home being followed. Take a look. Delhi has now become the first state in the country to implement 2 days of work from home. This after the spend wise mantra that has been fielded by the Prime Minister. Delhi has also proposed Monday or Metro Mondays as they are calling it. There are also now strict restrictions saying that none of the officers will be taking any foreign trips for the next 1 year. No new vehicles to be bought for the next 6 months as well. But there are still a lot of unanswered questions on how this will be carried out. And to talk to us a little bit all about that, joining me is the Senior Cabinet Minister in the Delhi government, Mr. Mojinder Singh Sirsa. Good morning, sir. Thank you so much for your time.
Very good morning, Sonalji.
Mr. Sirsa, has it started already? Are you working from home today is my first question.
No, today is not our home. It is on Wednesday when we'll be working from our home. It's a Wednesday and a Saturday. It's a 2-day, Wednesday and Saturday.
All right, sir. Will this apply work from home, study from home? Will this apply for government schools and colleges next?
It has already been conveyed to the colleges also that if possible, the non-practical classes should be taken on online classes, and also requested the universities for the administration staff to work from home.
Right. But so the effectiveness of all of this will happen if you get the private sector on board. Have you had conversations with FICCI, with CII, etc., to see how this will be adopted by the private sector?
Yes, we are in touch with all these organizations, and our Labour Minister, Kapil Mishra ji, has been ensured with this responsibility to talk to them. We will try to ensure that this is strictly implemented in Delhi, and especially in case of private sector also.
Right, sir. Sir, talk to us a little bit about why Delhi felt the need. We've seen pictures over the past couple of days, ever since the Prime Minister's appeal came in, of ministers across the country actually come out and, do their bit, lead by example, the Prime Minister himself as well. Why did you feel the need that work from home had to be mandated in Delhi? What was the thinking in the cabinet?
So as you said very well, you said about the Prime Minister, it is the message of the Honorable Prime Minister which is implemented in Delhi also. And for that reason, to save the fuel, to save our economy, to save the foreign exchange, these kind of steps have been taken by the government of Delhi, Honorable our Chief Minister Rekha Gupta ji. It is not just about the only staff, it's about the ministers also, the Chief Minister also. We want a participation from the public also. We have requested the entire Delhi that at least one day they should travel without their vehicle. They should have any kind of public transport, may it be a metro or a bus or whatsoever. So it is about the message from our Prime Minister. It aligns with their message that yes, we have to save our foreign currency. We have to save the maximum fuel possible, because today as the war is going across we have seen this, and for that reason fuel prices are increasing day by day, and to control that we should minimize that.
Right. But sir, it's a tough one to implement on the ground, especially for ministers to have Metro Mondays. 1-2 दिन का photo op तो सबको समझ में आता है, पर ये कब तक चलेगा ऐसे? Is there a timeline to how long this will last?
देखिए सोनल जी, कई चीजें जब आप खुद करते हैं तो बाकी लोग भी उसको अडॉप्ट करते हैं। आई मस्ट टेल यू, मेरे एक दो लोग हैं, मेरे को रोज अपनी वीडियो भेज रहे हैं, जिनको मैंने नहीं कहा, उन्होंने प्राइम मिनिस्टर का मैसेज सुना, सीएम का मैसेज सुना, वो खुद मेट्रो में ट्रैवल कर रहे हैं और मुझे वीडियो शेयर कर रहे हैं कि देखो हमने तो सोच लिया कि आज के बाद मेट्रो में ट्रैवल करेंगे, कम से कम दिल्ली सरकार के पेट्रोल और डीजल को बचाने का हम भी काम करेंगे। एक मैसेजिंग जो आपने कहा, प्राइम मिनिस्टर साहब ने भी एक मैसेज दिया है, इंटायर कैबिनेट ने, चीफ मिनिस्टर ने, मिनिस्टर्स ने। ये जरूरी नहीं है कि हर रोज ही आपको ये करना है, लेकिन एक सेविंग के रास्ते आप चले हैं, उससे 10% सेविंग हो, 15% सेविंग हो, मैसेज सेविंग का है। और आप यकीन मानेंगे कि हमारे मिनिस्टर्स हों या चीफ मिनिस्टर्स हों, हम भी डेडिकेटली इस काम के लिए लगे। ऐसा नहीं है कि कोई मैसेज देने के लिए खाली एक दिन मैसेज दे दिया। वी विल ट्राई आवर बेस्ट। देखिए, मैं जेड प्रोटेक्टिव हूँ। जिस दिन से प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कहा है, उस दिन से अपने एक पीएसओ के साथ अपनी गाड़ी में, अकेली गाड़ी में ट्रेवल कर रहा हूं। हमने ये मैसेज खाली देने के लिए नहीं है, खुद पे लागू करने के लिए भी है।
All right. Sir, you spoke about the prices of petrol and diesel. This morning we've woken up to a 3 rupees hike as well. My question is this. Do you think this is a sort of a trial balloon? This is just first of the many more that could follow?
See, as far as the prices are concerned, the state government has no much of hand in this. It is all depends on the center government and the petroleum ministry, how they get the fuel and what kind of fuel at what prices they are getting. But yes, it will continue. There more reforms will also come. You can use it a word of reforms in your everyday's life. Sometimes our lifetimes has been changed due to COVID. Also, people have changed their lifestyle. So it is not just it is a very common thing to change your lifestyle. I believe this is one of the things. And in coming days, definitely more things will come up as the situation will arise, and if the things get more deepened, then obviously the prime minister will give another message, and we are not aware of that. But definitely for now onwards, it is mandatory for everybody, including ministers and officers.
All right. Sir, then help us understand this, because the opposition at this point is saying that they waited, the BJP government waited for elections to get over and then implement the price hike. How do you answer that allegation?
So it is always, so opposition, I haven't seen in the last 12 years when opposition would ever aligned with the government vision or our prime minister's vision. They will definitely question because they have nothing else to do. The only thing is today they should answer one question, whether they will align with this message or not, whether they are with us for saving of fuel and foreign economy or not. The question is very simple. But they will dodge here and there, and they will say election pehle thi. There is every other month there is election. Now there are pre-elections there in Punjab. This municipal elections are there in Punjab. Another 3 months there will be another elections. Elections are always there. Every 3 months there are elections in this country. But no, neither the government wait for any elections, neither the government has this kind of a thought process that we will win this election, then we will put this kind of thing. No, that is not at all.
But sir, Mr. Sirsa, look at the plight of the common man at the moment. Prices of fuel are up. Wholesale price index is up. Doodh ka daam badh gaya hai. We know what's happening to farmers. And in the middle of it all, you have this appeal from the Prime Minister to go on several other measures, austere measures, to sort of ensure that we are keeping our spendings wisely. At this point, the common man is bound to feel very overwhelmed.
Sonalji, it is not the first time. I think TV channels are only overwhelmed. General public is well aware of the fact. I do remember कि जब देश के अंदर लड़ाई हुई थी और ये कहा गया था कि एक वक्त का अन्न भी त्याग दे, तो लोगों ने हफ्ते में एक वक्त का अन्न को भी त्यागा था.
So you're saying this is as big as a war? You're saying this situation is as dire as being on war?
We are not on war, but the other countries are on war, and situation is getting worse day by day. The entire world is facing this. It is not about just India. And everybody, every Indian who has a passion for this country is well aware that when it comes to the nation, we should stand by the nation. That's the mantra we have been taught in schools, colleges also.
Right. Another allegation that has come in on the BJP government, Mr. Sirsa, is that Prime Minister's speech was primarily something of a expectation management. He let everybody know that things are not going well and thus they should prepare for worse times ahead. Is that the understanding within the government as well, that this is just the tip of the iceberg? The coming few months and years could be very tough on the economy, including our personal wallets as well?
Nothing as such has been neither said, neither it is there. But yes, today what situation you and me can say with a bare eyes, that is the only problem here. There is a war between Iran and America, and the fuel prices are getting more costed day by day, day by day. That is the only situation. Night to night, nothing more than that, nothing lesser than that.
Chaliye, Mr. Sirsa, thank you so much for being here there. I can also say this, that one good thing that has come out of work from home is that at least there'll be lesser pollution in the city. There will be lesser cars, hopefully.
No, definitely,
and
not just lesser car.
Go ahead.
It will also save the car. Definitely, it will say we will have a lesser pollution also, and people do understand these kind of problems, and they are definitely with Honorable Prime Minister for the message which he has given. And I've seen that change in Delhi from last 2 days. Sonal ji, if you have also noticed, ट्रैफिक में बहुत कमी आई है, ट्रैफिक जाम्स में कमी आई है, पब्लिक सड़कों के ऊपर गाड़ियां व्हीकल्स में कमी आई है.
चलिए मंडे मॉर्निंग को असली टेस्ट होगा सिरसा जी. आई थिंक दैट्स व्हेन वी विल एक्चुअली गेट टू सी.
मैं तो आज ही मेट्रो से ट्रैवल करूंगा सुनील जी, मैं तो अभी भी मेट्रो से ट्रैवल करूंगा, बस आपके इंतजार में था. इसके बाद मेट्रो में ही ट्रैवल करूंगा.
चलिए
और मैक्सिमम कोशिश करेंगे जितने दिन हम कर पाएं. अगर हमारे प्रोग्राम के साथ अलाइन हो सकता हो, जैसे सेक्रेटरीट जाना तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, कहीं और जाना होगा तो कोई दिक्कत आएगी तो गाड़ी भी यूज करेंगे. पर्पस ये नहीं है कि गाड़ी यूज करनी है मेट्रो, पर्पस ये है कि जिस तरह से भी इकोनॉमी के अंदर हम सबका कंट्रीब्यूशन हो सके, चाहे फ्यूल को बचाकर कंट्रीब्यूट करें, चाहे फॉरेन एक्सचेंज को बचाकर कंट्रीब्यूट करें, वी ऑल शुड कंट्रीब्यूट टू इट.
All right, so let's see. The big ambitious plans have been rolled out by the Delhi government. They are saying they're leading by example. They say it will be a sustained effort as well. Will this get participation of the people? Will it get participation of the private sector? That remains to be seen. For the moment, Mr. Sirsa, thank you so much for speaking with India Today.
Thank you.
Like a dream come true, you make me rise with you. In the sky of our own, feels like gravity is gone.
Feels like summer. Monte Carlo, it's the way you make me feel.
3 states, 3 leaders, 3 defining challenges. In Kerala, VD Satishan faces the challenge of reducing debt and providing employment. In Tamil Nadu, C. Joseph Vijay looks to ensure financial and political stability. And in West Bengal, Suvendu Adhikari aims to make the state a major industrial power. Read it in the latest issue of India Today. Making Sense of India, now available for speed delivery on Amazon and Blinkit. Subscribe now at subscriptions.intoday.in.
से जब से मोदी सरकार आई है, टोटल हमारे देश में 93 पेपर लीक हुए हैं, 93, और इनमें अधिकतर पेपर डबल इंजन ट्रिपल इंजन की बीजेपी की एनडीए की सरकारों में लीक हुए हैं. और अभी पिछले 1-2 दिन से खबरें आई हैं, ये जो नीट का पेपर लीक हुआ है, इसका एपिसेंटर भी राजस्थान है, और इनमें जो 2-4 लोगों के ऊपर सुई गई है वो भी बीजेपी के नेता दिखाई देते हैं. तो इससे शक तो पैदा होता है कि क्या इन सारे पेपर लीक में इनके नेता शामिल हैं, या इनकी पार्टियों का या सरकारों का संरक्षण है, या सीधे सीधे इनके नेता ही पेपर लीक करवा रहे हैं, उन्हीं का धंधा है. और अगर ऐसा है तो सीबीआई की जांच इसमें बेचारी क्या करेगी, सीबीआई इसमें बेचारी क्या करेगी.
Cupid may wear couture at the Met Gala, but according to the internet, he also seems to leave with a breakup playlist in hand. That's exactly why fans are now convinced Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner deliberately avoided making a joint appearance at the 2026 Met Gala. While the star-studded evening delivered dramatic couture, viral fashion moments and endless celebrity buzz, the couple's absence instantly sparked speculation online. Now, a fresh report claims the duo intentionally stayed away together because of the infamous Met Gala curse. A long-running internet theory suggesting celebrity couples often part ways after walking the iconic Met steps side by side. According to an insider, Kylie and Timothée have consciously avoided making their Met Gala debut as a couple over the past few years due to superstition surrounding the so-called curse. Interestingly, Kylie reportedly became more cautious after attending the gala with rapper Travis Scott in 2018 and 2019 before their eventual split. Over the years, social media users have repeatedly linked several celebrity breakups to the glamorous event. One of the most talked about examples remains Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson, who attended the 2022 Met Gala together before ending their relationship months later. Similarly, Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello also eventually parted ways after appearing together at the event. However, not every Met Gala romance ends in heartbreak. In fact, couples like Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, along with Priyanka Chopra and Nick Jonas, continue to prove the so-called curse wrong even years later. With Alice, Entertainment Bureau, India Today.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com. Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
Now, in a big reset after days of chaos, the government has fixed June 21st as the new NEET examination date, offering lakhs of students another chance after the paper leak controversy. But even as the D-test is announced, a significant admission from the top has come. This is Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan finally breaking his silence, admitting that there are serious loopholes in the system. The NTA is firmly under the scanner, questions being raised over the role of officials and possible internal lapses as well. But the real question is towards the minister. When there were leaks earlier, when there was a roadmap earlier, when there were warnings earlier, why didn't he really act? To this, the lakhs of students and are not really convinced. At this point, what exactly is their state of mind? Let's try and understand.
नीट की तैयारी करने में हम लोग कोचिंग अटेंड करते हैं, यहाँ पे 6 घंटे का पूरा क्लास चलता है, फिर हम घर जाते हैं, घर जाके खाना खाने के बाद हम घंटा नहीं देखते कि हम कितने घंटे पढ़ रहे हैं। जब तक हमारा टॉपिक पूरा नहीं हो जाता है तब तक हम पढ़ते रहते हैं। मैं अपना बता रही हूँ, मैं अभी बहुत ज़्यादा मेरा मतलब ड्रॉप रहा है, तो मैं अभी पूरी रात नहीं सोती हूँ। मैं 4 बजे सोती हूँ। मैं 4 बजे सोती हूँ और फिर सुबह 10 बजे या फिर 9 बजे उठ जाती हूँ। फिर उसके बाद से पढ़ती हूँ कि हाँ बैकलॉग्स है, उसे कंप्लीट करना है।
अब भावुक हो रही हैं।
हाँ, क्योंकि
बुरा लग रहा है, इस वजह से रोना आ रहा है। आपने भी एग्जाम दिया था?
मैंने इस बार एग्ज़ाम नहीं दिया था मैं, क्योंकि ड्रॉप ली हुई हूँ। ऐसे रद्द हो जाता है तो मुझे बहुत बच्चों को प्रॉब्लम होता है। ऐसे नहीं करना चाहिए।
तकलीफ समझ रही है आप अपने सीनियर्स का जिन्होंने एग्जाम दिया?
हाँ, क्योंकि मैं पढ़ रही हूँ, देख रही हूँ कि ऐसा हो रहा है, फिर से हमें देना पड़ता है तो बहुत ज़्यादा प्रॉब्लम होता है।
You know, I wanted to bring out this voice because this is what a lot of students are feeling. They are feeling defeated by the system. Defeated by the system which is supposed to provide for them. AI is already here. Jobs are going to be lost. Medicine is one of those systems where they still have faith. But look at the manner in which the exams are being carried out. And because of that, I have some questions for the Education Minister that I want to raise tonight. To the Union Education Minister, Dharmendra Pradhan, there is a system in place, but why exactly did it take you so long to fix it? Let's go to question number 1 for him tonight. It's students like these who are trying to get their word across. These are aspirations of not just one student, but an entire family being lost. So just passing the buck to the CBI or to the NTA is not enough. So my question number 1. Union Minister Dharmendra Pradhan now says the system will be fixed, the loopholes will be plugged, but no one will be spared. But he promised to clean up the system in 2024. Did he finally clean it up? Did you actually manage to fix it? Question number 2. Experts warned you in 2024. Parliament again gave you another warning in 25. Why was there no action? How come blacklisted firms are kept, in the system and they keep finding their way back into getting contracts? Who is to be blamed there? Why can't you have a national blacklisting system built up? Question number 4. Printing papers at the center. The HCA, the HLCE actually said this. Why was it not done? They gave you a step-by-step plan. Why didn't you implement it? Also, 1,000 secure government test centers were recommended. How many actually exist today? Can you answer that? Another question that I have for the Education Minister. The CBI came in after 2024. Why did it not prevent 2026? Who is probing why the last inquiry's findings weren't acted on? Who will fix the responsibility? The leak happened. You were silent. Why? You should have come out and said that we failed the people of the country, the citizens and the youth of this country in 24, in 25, in 26. I take responsibility. Why is nobody coming out to take responsibility? And finally, students had one shot. Who answers to them now? Will you take the responsibility if if this sort of leaks again, or students fail to find their chance, or mental health collapse happens? And my bigger question, if the investigation is anything to go by, indications are that 2025 paper was also leaked. Who's looking into that? That is the question that I really want investigating agencies to answer, and those 10 were the list that we really want the Education Minister himself to take a look at and perhaps come up with an answer. But sadly, that's all the time I have on the program. We continue to bring you all the latest here on the story, and I promise to keep a very close eye on the NEET story as it unfolds as well. Goodbye for now. We'll see you on Monday.
The spotlight was blazing. The crowd was roaring. And yet, behind the music, a storm was quietly building. Because when global Punjabi superstar Diljit Dosanjh took over Calgary with another electrifying concert, it wasn't just the music that grabbed headlines. It was the controversy unfolding in the crowd. Diljit Dosanjh made headlines after he briefly halted his performance during the Aura 2026 concert and asked his security personnel to remove audience members waving pro-Khalistani flags. And now the singer has finally addressed the controversy. Reacting to the incident, Diljit said that he would not tolerate anyone creating trouble for fans at his shows. He even mentioned that the issue was not about any banner or flag, but about the intention behind it. So what exactly happened? Diljit Dosanjh briefly halted his performance during his ongoing Aura tour concert in Calgary, Canada, after members of the audience were seen waving pro-Khalistan flags. On noticing the flags, he stopped the show mid-performance and asked those involved to leave the act aside. He also directed the organizers to remove the individuals from the venue. The controversy reportedly began in October 2025 when Dosanjh appeared on Kaun Banega Crorepati 7. A multi-state scam, a paper leak like no other, NEET exam cancelled and lakhs of dreams shattered. As CBI probe deepens, more skeletons are tumbling out of the closet. After Shubham Khernar in Nasik, CBI has nabbed another accused, Dhananjay Lokhande from Maharashtra's Ahilyanagar. Dhananjay is the man who gave the NEET papers to Shubham Khernar, after which the papers were circulated in different states. Shubham allegedly sold the papers to a Haryana-based doctor. Shubham Khernar will be taken to Mumbai for further probe. India Today tracked down his flat in Nasik.
Shubham Khernar had gotten the NEET paper and he shared it with multiple people. He purchased the paper for 10 lakh rupees and then sold it for 15 to 20 lakhs to multiple people. Initially, he sold it to a person in Haryana and then to few other people in other states as well.
Later, brothers from Rajasthan's Ramgarh, Mangilal Biwal and Dinesh Biwal, bought the paper from a Gurugram doctor for an aspirant in their family. Meanwhile, possible political links of Biwal brothers has also surfaced. Photos of Dinesh Biwal with Rajasthan Education Minister Madan Dilawar and MLA Mahendrapal Meena has also surfaced, giving a new spin to the probe. Youth wing of both opposition and BJP staged protest demanding action against the culprits. Politics over the case is escalating. Opposition not leaving any opportunity to target centre over the paper leak. While BJP has promised that culprits will face justice.
हर साल पेपर लीक होंगे अगर आपने कुछ नहीं किया तो मेरा जेनजी से सीधा सीधा देश के युवाओं से सीधा सीधा पूछना है कि ऐसे ही चलेगा या कुछ करना है। ऐसे ही हर साल आप देखो 2017 में पेपर लीक हुए, उसके 4 साल बाद 2021 में हुए, उसके 3 साल बाद 2024 में हुए, उसके 2 साल बाद 2026 में हुए, अब उसके 1 साल बाद 2027 में होंगे और हर साल पेपर लीक होंगे अगर आपने कुछ नहीं किया तो। अगर नेपाल का और बांग्लादेश का जेनजी सड़कों पे उतर के अपने देश की सरकारों को बदल सकता है तो हमारे देश का जेनजी पेपर लीक करने वाले मंत्रियों को जेल नहीं भेज सकता है। मुझे अपने देश के जेनजी पे पूरा भरोसा है। ये देश आपका है। इस देश के नेताओं को इस देश में कोई इंटरेस्ट नहीं है।
Good evening, you're watching Super 6 here on India Today. I'm Akshata Nandagopal. Over the next 1 hour, I'll be getting you all the top stories of the day where we focus on the big news breaks from South India. We've been seeing, of course, from early this morning reporting on the fuel price hike. What does that mean for the southern states? What is the price rise looking like there? I'm going to be breaking that down for you along with ground reports from Bengaluru, from Hyderabad, from Chennai, from Thiruvananthapuram as well, to get you a sense of what really the situation is, how much have prices shot up. Also coming up on the show, we're going to be focusing on Tamil Nadu, where there's a big showdown once again over Sanatan Dharma. You have the TVK and DMK now clarifying amid all of the outrage, Udaynidhi Stalin taking to social media to say no, Sanatan Dharma has a different context in Tamil Nadu, that he's referring to casteism. We're going to be getting you details of that. We'll have political panelists with us also on this broadcast on that big Sanatan showdown. Let's begin with the headlines. Your fuel gets costlier starting today. Petrol-Diesel prices go up by 3 rupees per litre across India. CNG prices go up by 2 rupees per kg. Politics erupts over fuel price hike. Opposition hits out at Modi government as the BJP defends. Days after Prime Minister Modi's budget message, 50% Supreme Court staff to work from home, judges to carpool, virtual hearings on Monday and Friday for now. After Leakgate, NEET re-examination on June 21st. Union Education Minister breaks silence, assures strict CBI investigation, says re-examination because government wants merit over mafia.
CBI गहरा तक जाएगी, किसी को इस बार बख्शा नहीं जाएगा। CBI ने तुरंत कार्रवाई किया है, CBI इसको तह तक जाएगी।
After handshakes and hugs in UAE, Prime Minister Modi departs for Netherlands. UAE President MPZ personally sees off Prime Minister Modi. Prime Minister bats for peace in West Asia, condemns strikes on UAE. Big win for Hindu side in Bhojshala matter. Madhya Pradesh High Court declares Bhojshala Saraswati temple, asks Muslim side to approach government for separate land. Bengal Chief Minister Shuvendu suspends former Kolkata CP over RG Kaur case. Shuvendu says RG Kaur case was mishandled then, seeks report from Home Department on corpse role. So for the first time in 4 years, months, the government has hiked fuel prices 3 rupees per litre. Before we bring you voices from the ground, here's a look at the city-wise rates from South India. Bengaluru, the price of petrol has risen to 106 rupees and 17 paise per litre. Diesel is at 94 rupees and 10 paise. Now, as far as Chennai is concerned, petrol prices are at 103 rupees and 84 paise, diesel at 95.25 rupees. Hyderabad, a litre of petrol now costs 110 rupees and 89 paise. Diesel is at 98.96. Let's get you a sense of what's the situation in Thiruvananthapuram. With that hike, one will have to pay 110 rupees 76 paise for a litre of petrol, 99.64 rupees for diesel. And this hike, of course, many would say was expected, considering global tensions, disruptions in West Asia. The Strait of Hormuz, a key oil route, has been affected. Nearly 45% of India's crude supply chain has been hit. So therefore, India is importing oil via longer, costlier routes. The question that's being asked right now as a result of this is, are we going to see those prices shoot up in the next few days further? We gave you a sense of really what the rates are looking like in the southern states, in the cities. We get you ground reports.
Fuel prices have been hiked across India, and I'm coming to a place from Bengaluru, a petrol station or a fuel station where you can see people coming here to fill in their tanks. Rupees 3 is the hike has been put in place right now. The price right now per litre in Bengaluru is somewhere around 106 rupees. So you can see 106.22 per litre of fuel, and diesel stands at 94.09. Starting from midnight, 3 rupees has been hiked across Bengaluru city. Let me try speaking to one such customer as to what he or she feels at this point of time. Let me try getting in a word as to what do they feel about the price hike. So you have just put in fuel there. The price has been hiked for 3 rupees per litre. How do you see this, sir?
What else to say? We have to bear it, right? What else can be done, right? It's a global crisis, so you have to.
But the government is asking people to reduce going on foreign trips, reduce buying gold. Do you agree with the government, or do you think there can be solutions?
There is no other options, right? If you want the foreign reserves to be in control, there's no other options. So we have to cooperate.
People still have to commute, still have to travel. Most of them do take the metro or the public transport system, but however, few of them will have to depend on their bikes or the cars. And now, by 3 rupees increase, the petrol prices stands at 106.22 in the city of Bengaluru. Nagarjun Dwarkanath for India Today.
Prices of petrol and diesel have gone up in Chennai by 3 rupees. A lot of commuters are visibly angry, and it is almost palpable their anger. They are condemning the price rise by 3 rupees. They said that first it was LPG prices that were hiked up, and now it's petrol and diesel, and therefore it's really burning a big hole in the pockets of middle class is what they're saying. On the other hand, there are many other sections of middle class who are actually in support of this price rise. In fact, they're saying that for the last 6 months there has been no price rise in petrol and diesel, even when there was a war brewing in West Asia and there was so much impact, but still the government had not increased the prices, and it's only now after deferring by around 6 months that they have hiked the prices, which is okay, and we should be able to bear with that and adjust. And it's the game of life, is what many other middle class sections also say. So the opinions at this point look really diverse, and that could be because of the fact that the purchasing power of different sections of middle class are different. The anger is there. At the same time, there is a section that is also saying that it's okay, let's bear with it. So right now, what I'm hearing is that the price rise here in Chennai has garnered sufficient anger among the auto drivers particularly, and those who are dependent on only two-wheelers for their everyday commute, and they are demanding for the rollback of the price rise. With camera person Daniel, Anaga Keshav reporting for India Today from Chennai.
petrol station in Bakery Junction, Thiruvananthapuram, the state capital of Kerala, and the petrol price today stands at 110.76 per litre, and the diesel prices stand at 99.64 per litre. So it was earlier 106 and now it's 96. So there's already a LPG shortage also that we are experiencing, and we can already see how the hotels and restaurants have already started increasing the price of food items. So that's one concern that all of them were raising. We spoke to a lot of them. Some of them also mentioned about how the elections, once since the elections are over, now they can increase the price of petrol and diesel was another reaction that came in from people. Some of them say that we can't help it, we'll have to just go with the flow, and we can't stop ourselves from using petrol and diesel. So there's no way out there. We just have to follow whatever happens, is what some of them said. There's a lot of criticism also coming in, asking like, when the price of crude oils fell internationally, why wasn't it the benefit of it being passed on to the people? Or also is a question and a criticism that's coming in from the political fronts here also. Pinarayi Vijay, the former Chief Minister of Kerala, the newly elected leader of opposition of Kerala, also raised this issue that why wasn't the benefits of crude oils prices being dropped internationally passed on to the people, and this is gross injustice, grave injustice that's being meted out to the people of India, is what is how Pinarayi Vijay responded. That's the scenes here. Most of these petrol pumps, the commuters who are coming here are raising this very serious concern about how much this is going to affect their day-to-day lives. With video journalist Tinku Rajshekhar, Shipimol KG for India Today from Thiruvananthapuram.
Well, yes, work from home is quite not possible in a city like Hyderabad, but what we are learning is today, after the price hike of 3 rupees in the city of Hyderabad, the prices have gone to 110.89 for the petrol, and for the diesel it has gone to 98 rupees, more than 98 rupees. We are joined by the commuters here. So your name please?
Mahesh Yadav.
What do you have to say on the price hike that has been done today, 3 rupees each on petrol and diesel?
जो भी मोदी जी कर रहे हैं, नेशन के लिए कर रहे हैं, अपने लिए कर रहे हैं, जो भी शॉर्टेज है इंडिया में गैस, ऑयल, उसको बचाने के लिए, और अपन बचाना चाहिए. जितना बचा है तो उतना कम हो सकता है.
Let me show you the prices of diesel in the city of Hyderabad. The diesel prices with a hike of 3 rupees have gone to 98 rupees and 96 paise, and for the petrol the prices have now reached 110 rupees and 89 paise.
नहीं साहब, जनता को तो बहुत तकलीफ हो रही है सर, बहुत तकलीफ हो रही है. जनता इस टाइम पे जो है बहुत परेशान है. बस उसका जो है, जो भी करना है, हमारे जो प्राइम मिनिस्टर साहब है, कुछ इसका हल निकालना जरूरी है.
Okay. So this is what the reaction that are coming in from petrol stations here after the 3 rupees hike in the city of Hyderabad as well. Let me show you the prices here. 110 rupees and 89 paise for the petrol right now, where people are right now filling in fuel at the petrol station here in Vidyanagar of Hyderabad.
Let's get you news coming in from Tamil Nadu, where Chief Minister Vijay, in one of the important consultative meetings, met with CEOs of top companies. The meeting happened in Chennai. Why is this crucial? Because one of the biggest tests for Chief Minister Vijay is to ensure investments pour in for the state of Tamil Nadu. So these are CEOs, senior officials from companies like BMW, like TVS and other companies who all came together, and that meeting images on your screens of the same. Let me bring in our reporters also on this broadcast. We've got Anaga Keshav live with us from Chennai with more details on this. Anaga, one of the points that will be noted, and we know that today Chief Minister Vijay has held back-to-back meetings with different sectors, different individuals. This one with CEOs is crucial because on one hand, there are questions about what Chief Minister Vijay will do as far as attracting investment is concerned. The previous government, the DMK government, constantly spoke of the Dravidian model. And so for the TVK, for Chief Minister Vijay to essentially ensure that, there is investment, that there is growth for the state will be the biggest challenge.
That's right. In fact, one of the biggest criticism that the erstwhile DMK government faced was the lack of conversion of MOUs into actual investments. In fact, the erstwhile DMK government had been countering these criticism with facts and figures and data, and now there is going to be a lot of pressure on Vijay's shoulders to surpass what the DMK government had done. Last year, the GSDP growth was around 11%, and now Vijay would have to exceed that. One of the key important meetings of today was the meeting with the BMW head, which already has a plant existing in the OMR road. Other one was a meeting with TVS, and the other one with the TAFE group. In fact, we believe that officials who knew about what happened in the meeting have told us that Vijay had pushed in for a lot more importance on the EV manufacturing sector. So that was the main, main topics of discussion in his meeting with the BMW head. We need to wait and watch. Will Vijay really be able to surpass what the DMK government had done till now?
Or for that matter, even what previously the AIADMK government managed to do at a time when COVID had hit Tamil Nadu. So we'll have to see how really Vijay delivers on that front. Look, there's a lot of focus on how he performs 1 week in. He is continuing with a lot of meet and greets to kind of get a sense of how he should move forward on the governance front. Thanks very much, Anaga, for those details. But let's get you now a detailed report of the big political showdown that's dominated this week in Tamil Nadu. Sanatan Dharma. Not the first time we've seen it in Tamil Nadu. This time, once again, at the core of it was Udayanidhi Stalin. He went ahead and again spoke of Sanatanam this time in the floor of the House. Issuing a clarification, however, he says that it's not against the religion of Hinduism, it's rather against casteism. A stand that even the TVK has taken now.
The Sanatan debate is not dying down anytime soon. Ever since Tamil Nadu leader of opposition Udayanidhi Stalin called for the eradication of Sanatan Dharma and TVK MLA VNS Mustafa backed his statement, both TVK and the DMK now appear to be in damage control mode. While clarifying his remarks of Sanatan Dharma, Udayanidhi Stalin said his statement was taken out of context. Stalin Jr. claimed that by saying destroying Sanatan, he never meant that people should stop going to temples. He said what needs to be abolished is the practice of dividing people into upper and lower castes. Meanwhile, Tamil Nadu Minister Adhav Arjuna has defended TVK MLA VNS Mustafa for backing Udayanidhi Stalin.
Mr. Udayanidhi mentioning Sanatan Dharma, of course, there is two. The system of caste system, the system of women's slavery system, we are always against. We are not against Hindus, we are against Hindutva. Hindutva means forcing one religion.
The BJP is leaving no stone unturned in attacking TVK. BJP leader Annamalai called Adhav Arjuna's statement confusing. He claimed that Adhav was not just defending Mustafa, but also backing Udayanidhi Stalin's controversial remarks. And this is not the first time Udayanidhi has sparked a row over Sanatan Dharma. Back in 2023, he had compared Sanatan Dharma to diseases like dengue and malaria.
சிலவற்றை நாம் ஒழிக்கத்தான் வேண்டும், எதிர்க்க முடியாது. கொசு, டெங்கு காய்ச்சல், மலேரியா, கொரோனா இதையெல்லாம் நம்ம எதிர்க்க கூடாது, ஒழித்து கட்ட வேண்டும்.
And amid the growing controversy, Vijay is yet to break his silence. A silence that is now being closely watched. Bureau Report, India Today.
Let's open this up. Joining us here on Super 6 is A. Surya Narayanan, TVK supporter, Harish Mohammad Ibrahim, who sides with the DMK, and Ramakrishnan Rajagopal, spokesperson of the Tamil Nadu BJP. Vanakkam, good evening. Thank you all very much for your time. Mr. Surya Narayanan, I'd like to begin with you. What really for the TVK is the definition of Sanatana Dharma, sir? Is it linked to Hinduism or is it not?
No. In fact, TVK leader, Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Mr. Vijay, declared in the floor of the assembly that we treat all the religion equal. This is the first time the anti-Dravidian parties not at all spelled, the TVK leader spelled that he treats all religions equal. In fact, Mr. TVK leader, Mr. Vijay, went to the Tiruchendur Subramanya Swami temple along with the divine way.
No, but if he
And
feels so strongly, sir, why didn't he stop Udaynidhi Stalin from making that comment about Sanatanam in the House?
See, he became chief minister only 2 days. He first his job is to get a vote of confidence. Today he meets BMU, TVS, industrial.
Sure. Those are meetings, policies. I'm not saying that he has to take a decision. I'm saying when someone says something in front of him, why isn't he reacting? Why didn't he object if he didn't stand by the comment that Udaynidhi Stalin made?
No. I fully understand your feeling, but now he concentrates on governance because Tamil Nadu was affected, suffered last 5 years because of the poor governance. Our loans has become more than 10 lakh, but he told that in this floor of the assembly yesterday that he treats all religions equal. He made a public statement, and Mr. Adhu Arjuna clearly told they are not against Hindus. What you did, even Mr. Mustafa retracted his statement of Sanatan Dharma, and he also told he treats all religions equal. He want to, for India.
No, so I'm asking you a simple question, sir. What is Sanatana Dharma to you?
Yes,
is it to do with Hinduism? Is it to do with the religion or no?
No, ill-treating based on the casteism. See, we have to treat all castes equal. There is no upper caste, no lower caste.
There is no doubt about it, but this is the definition that constantly the DMK has put forth. It's good to know that the TV case on the same note, same page as the DMK, Mr. Ramakrishnan Rajagopal. Good evening, sir. Your view on this? You know, the constant narrative in Tamil Nadu is we don't know what Sanatana Dharma is. And then it's got to do with casteism. I'll come back to you, sir. I'll come back to you.
I think if they don't know what it is, they should first understand what it is before they give comments about it. Now, there's no point in using a term and then coming to say, well, I really didn't understand what that term meant. You used it a second time and you used it to wound the feelings of Hindus. Sanatan Dharma basically talks about the civilizational values of Bharat, of India. And why are you bringing in religious aspects? Better focus on governance. And I'm talking for the TV, against the TVK. I'm looking at the DMK. I think the DMK is incorrigible. I mean, they keep making these comments in a very irresponsible way. It's meant to actually hurt people's sentiments. They've always been making anti-Hindu statements. It's been their practice all along. And this is no different. And then, you know, to say that, well, Sanatan Dharma is not about eternal dharma, but it's actually about, caste discrimination. Why don't you say it straight? Well, I am against caste discrimination. And that's all we are all against. Nobody is speaking for caste discrimination. I think you should make it clear. And rather than use terms which are confusing, rather than use terms which are wounding, rather than use terms about which there is a lot of controversy. It's being done deliberately to cultivate a specific vote bank.
Okay, that's an interesting charge you're making. Harish, you want to come in on this? Ultimately, look, why can't that message be put forth? We're against casteism. Why use the word Sanatana Dharma when you know it's controversial? When Udaynidhi Stalin years ago, after saying it, faced backlash across the country, so many Hindus said their sentiments were hurt. Then when it's again repeated, when again the word Sanatanam is used in the assembly, isn't it clearly with the intention of again hurting those very people of the same religion?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, Akshita, having said that, your query is totally relatable. By 2023, the term was been coined in because there has been a equation which is given in Bhagavad Gita is what the minister had told by then. The then Deputy Chief Minister had told then that the Bhagavad Gita 4.3 equated the Sanatana Dharmas equal to the 4 Varnashras, which is classified into Brahmanas, Vaishyas, Satriyas and Sutras, where we have the class discrimination. And that is the one thing which we always oppose. And even the BJP spokesperson happily said that no one is against caste discrimination and no one is up for the caste discrimination. So having said that, there ends the story. If everyone is leveling upon, everyone is working upon to discriminate, to make sure the eradication of these kind of caste discrimination, then that's it. That's not
that's not the definition of Sanatana Dharma, is it, Harish? You've burnt your fingers once. Surely you stay away post that. When you know you've hurt sentiments, if you repeatedly do it, it's clear the intention is to constantly continue to hurt sentiments.
Chinta, that we will have a debatable topic because, as I said on the Bhagavad Gita 4.3, which equates the Sanatan Dharma, which is with the gunas and the qualities, where the karma is being played upon the four varnashrams. The four varnashrams which classified Brahmanas, Vaishyas, Satras, Sutras, and Panchamas, where those kind of caste discriminations comes in place. The Brahmanas are born from the head and the Sutras are born from the legs is what the class discrimination started. Even for that, the reason the 100 years of Dravidian culture, the Dravidian ideology stands for. So we don't want to have any upper caste or the lower caste or middle caste.
So you're saying that this is against caste discrimination. Why do you not talk of the same discrimination in other communities? Why is the conversation
Even
only
today,
about Sanatana Dharma?
Then there is no exclusion, whether it is be it in Islam or
You
Christianity
never
or
hear
Judaism.
that. Arish, tell me, when
today,
did Udaynidhi Stalin say that? He said Sanatana.
Then you are selective in picking up the news.
No, 1 second. Tell me, Udaynidhi, a couple of days ago when he spoke, did he use the word Sanatanam?
Sita,
Did he use the word or no?
Even today, when he has reclarified, he has given that it is not only with Hinduism, even if it is in Islam, even if it is in Christianity, even if some atheists are doing that, then it has to be reprimanded. There is no other go that only the caste hierarchy or the caste manipulation or the discrimination in regards to caste, creed and religion happening only with Hinduism. No, that is not. Even in Islam, there are some disparities out there. It has to be questioned. In Christianity, there are so much of disparities and there is a class discrimination. We have to oppose each and everything. Only when these kind of Pandora's box being opened, only then we have a clear-cut qualities for the next generation to come up with. So having said that, we don't rely upon that. The media spin narrative is always about.
No, this is not. I'm sorry. This is not a media narrative. We have on record what Udaynidhi Stalin said. We have on record, sir. Come on, this is not a media narrative. We haven't twisted any words here for you to point fingers at the media. Mr. Surya Narayanan.
It is not a media narrative. Then we are glad, very much glad.
Mr. Surya Narayanan.
It is not a media narrative. Actually, Udaynidhi Stalin is having the habit of talking about Hindu Dharma right from 2023. He has court cases in so many places.
Mr. Surya Narayanan, you backed him. You said Sanatana Dharma is about caste inequality. You yourself said it just a few moments ago.
No, I am not backing. No, no one, even BJP, nobody is backing caste system. Actually, but Udaynidhi Stalin, as a responsible leader of the opposition, should not have used the word Sanatan. And now, when he got a lot of big bags and all, then he talked about caste system. That's not correct.
I'm glad you've said that. Sir. Then what about a TVK MLA, Mr. Mustafa from Madurai Central, who makes a similar comment saying abolishing Sanatan is something we're also for?
I do agree. He told first time, then he retracted his words and he apologized in the media. Then he also, you should know, no TV media informed that when he was in Madurai Central, the MLA, when he was campaigning, there was a overflowing of drainage, sewage. He given a bold promise that he will clean around the Meenakshi temple. So when he is against Ati Sanatan, how we will say he want to clean near temple and all?
Okay.
He told clearly.
Then I take it back. Let me bring in Mr. Rajagopal. Mr. Rajagopal, essentially the messaging from the DMK and TVK is what we're against. Sir, I'll come back to you. Let me give a chance to Mr. Rajagopal to speak, please. Mr. Rajagopal, ultimately the message seems to be that, look, we are not targeting one religion, we're not targeting one community. Inequality across, discrimination across is what we've condemned. Do you buy that?
Yeah, I think the point is, if they are not familiar with the terms in Tamil or in English, they better learn the right vocabulary before they speak. If that is, this is no excuse. They have been reprimanded by the Supreme Court, by the High Court of Madras, and in spite of that, they are not willing to correct themselves. Clearly shows what kind of a character they are built of. That's point number one. Point number two, why did he say it in the assembly? Because he knows he will get protection. If he said it outside, there would be an FIR against him, there would be a case against him. And that is the reason he said it in the assembly. And why did he say it? He said it because he has realized that the minority vote is now getting split. And now he's realized that the TVK is now challenging the DMK's control over the minorities. He's trying to appease minorities by doing this, but no minority is going to be appeased by this. They're very clear. Unless you have development, there's going to be no voting for anybody. That's the position. So you better understand that. People want development, people want progress, people want jobs. People don't want your 100-year-old talk of Sanatan and all kinds of propaganda that you've been indulging in for the last 100 years.
Harish,
it's all outdated.
No, Harish, that's really the question that's being asked. Why, after so many years, did Udayanidhi Stalin once again resort to using the name Sanatanam and saying it discriminates in the floor of the House? When 2023, we've seen the backlash, and Udayanidhi Stalin, right after that, chose to stay away from that entire controversy. What was with the conscious choice of making that comment again in the assembly this time?
Sridhar, do you think that the parlance of the general mood of the people in Tamil Nadu doesn't change when it comes to the caste discrimination? Are you saying that there is no caste discriminations ever happening in Tamil Nadu?
How hard is it, Harish? How hard is it for the comment to be, we are against all kinds of discrimination. We are against all types of discrimination. There should be no inequality. Plain, simple, vanilla. There's no reading between the lines there. Why use the word Sanatanam?
Then it has to be reprimanded, it has to be discussed on a day-to-day basis until the entire caste system has
Why
been
use the word Sanatanam, Harish? Why use the word Sanatanam? You're saying not against one community, why use that word then?
Of course, because as a larger community, 85% of the people who hails from that one particular religion, and the majority of people hails from that particular SC, ST, OBCs and MBCs, they want to use it, they want to reform it. As I said earlier, there is no other say whether in Hinduism or it is happening only in Hinduism. No, of course not. Even it is there in Islam, even if it is there in Christianity, everyone should be talking about it. Everywhere the reforms and evolution has to happen. There is no second thought about it. But having said that, we want to make sure to categorically deny that putting across the DMK as an anti-Hindu is totally which is unwarranted and uncalled for. Because the only Dravidian movement where even though it does want to allow all kind of equals to be prevailing in across the society, the one community where entirely the population have been benefited out of is through the DMK government is all the Hindu community.
Ultimately, Mr. Surya Narayanan, because I told you I would give you a chance to speak, ultimately I'll come back to the same question. Why didn't the TVK object when these comments were made in the floor of the House? So you're saying the DMK is targeting one religion, targeting Hinduism. Why didn't the TVK stop it?
Madam, see, TVK leader just to become won the vote of confidence, and there are a lot of procedures, programs, after assuming a new place as a CM, he don't want to talk, but he used the word.
No, are you suggesting the Chief Minister didn't understand what was said?
No, not like that. No, he is concentrating more on governance.
So then what stopped him, sir? What stopped him from issuing a statement condemning what the leader of opposition said? I saw a detailed post. I saw a detailed post by the Chief Minister. Why was there no mention even of what the leader of opposition said if he had a problem with it?
No. You know, when Mr. Vijay visited Tiruchendur Subramania Swami temple with a divine stack, with a veil, and he wears a tilak. And so he acted, he behaved like a Sanatani when he went to temple. He went to Shirdi temple.
So you are saying Vijay is a Sanatani?
No, not like that. He is not.
So you just used the words.
No, he is not against Sanatani. He is not against any religion. He allows all the religion. He goes to temple. He goes to churches. He goes to mosque. He treats every religion as a responsible chief minister. He respects all religion.
We certainly hope so. We certainly hope so. But that question will still arise, Mr. Surya Narayanan. That question will still arise on why the chief minister didn't object if he doesn't agree with what the DMK said.
He will definitely object. Now he is concentrating on governance. Governance is more important on petty politics. Governance is more important.
Okay, fine. We'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. I've run out of time, sir, please. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us here on India Today with your views on this. Ultimately, we've seen this. It's a rerun of politics that played out just years ago in Tamil Nadu. The question is, how will the TVK tackle this? At this point, they seem rather conflicted. On one hand, addressing it, on the other, suggesting that no, these kind of words are unacceptable, but at the same time, we're against inequality. How has it come to be that Sanatana Dharma means caste inequality? That's at least the narrative that the DMK and TVK are putting forth right now. Let's cut across to breaking news coming in. Remember that we're going to be seeing a grand swearing-in ceremony in Thiruvananthapuram for Vijay Satishan as the Chief Minister of Kerala on Monday. And here's what we're picking up. There have been questions about whether Chief Minister Vijay will be attending. Congress sources have confirmed to us that an official invite has gone across to Chief Minister Vijay to attend the ceremony. Considering, of course, that Congress is an ally of the TVK and you had Rahul Gandhi at, in fact, Vijay's oath-taking, there is a possibility that the Chief Minister will attend. It will ultimately be based on his schedule. But an invite has gone out. We know that Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah, Revanth Reddy have been invited. In all likelihood, they will be there. So if you see Chief Minister Vijay there too, it will be a big show of strength by the Congress. The fact that they've got their presence now in every southern state except for Andhra Pradesh. Will Vijay attend the ceremony or not? I'll bring in Anaga Keshav for more on that. Anaga, we are hearing an official invite has gone across to Chief Minister Vijay. Considering Rahul Gandhi had attended his swearing-in ceremony, does it seem like Vijay also could do the same almost as a goodwill gesture, Anaga?
Yeah, that is quite likely, Akshita. In fact, what I'm hearing from my Congress sources based out of Delhi is that an invite has been gone to the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu to attend the swearing-in ceremony of Kerala's Chief Minister Vijay Satishan on the 18th of May. Of course, like you mentioned, it will completely depend on his availability, given the fact that he's just taken the Chief Minister's office and back-to-back he's likely to be, packed with meetings. It's quite likely that Vijay will attend this ceremony as a goodwill gesture, because remember, Rahul Gandhi was a part of his swearing-in ceremony, and politically, this will seal the deal and make it look like a grand alliance if Vijay does attend the swearing-in ceremony of Vijay Satishan. Because remember, Vijay has also promised for a cabinet berth of Congress MLAs. So him attending will really send out that show of strength between the TVK and the Congress. So it's quite likely.
But here's also what makes it interesting, right? The fact that there's been so much talk that Vijay is next going to eye Kerala and expanding the TVK into Kerala. If that happens, it's a direct threat to the Congress in the state. And maybe when you see him and if he goes to Kerala on Monday for the oath-taking, the kind of support, the kind of fanfare will give you a sense of really how hugely popular he is in Kerala as well. Thanks, Anaga, for joining us with all of those details. Let's move on now and get you a report. 1 week in, Vijay as Chief Minister. That's something we're still getting used to saying. But along with that, what also people are getting used to is seeing Vijay all suited up every time he reports to duty. This is a new look for Vijay. It's also a new look for India, because we've never actually seen a Chief Minister suited up in a suit taking all official business. Let's get you this report on what led to Vijay choosing this look.
Looks familiar, right? It is this look from his film Beast that Vijay has chosen to emulate while in office. Black suit, white shirt, dapper informals, and perhaps the first Chief Minister in India to wear a suit. Chief Minister Vijay's style is meant to send a message that it's time to get down to business, and the first time we got a glimpse of this look was fittingly on the day he took oath as Chief Minister.
C. Joseph Vijay Nan.
Since then, this has become his Chief Minister look. Whether it was for the historic moment when he took oath, or while diligently taking notes during assembly proceedings, or even official government meetings, Vijay has introduced his own signature style as the Chief Minister. Let's take you back to the heated election campaign. Wearing a white shirt and khaki pants, with the TVK colours of red and yellow on his shoulders, sometimes wearing shades, sometimes wearing glasses, Vijay kept it cool and simple. But soon enough, the khaki and white shirt combo became a TVK symbol. Anyone wearing this combo was considered a Vijay voter and a fan. politics, Vijay was known for his simple style, opting for a shirt and jeans at most events. But the switch to suits began at the Jananayagan audio launch. Chief Minister Vijay, with his stubble and unkempt hair with the suit, has got everyone talking about power dressing and truly looking the part of a Talapati of a state. Bureau Report, India Today.
It's interesting to see how many firsts we're seeing as a result of Vijay becoming the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. I'm slipping into a short break here on Super 6. So on the other side, we'll get you a news break coming in right now. On the other side of a very, very short break, those live updates coming in.
Feels like summer. Monte Carlo, it's the way you make me feel.
AU सेविंग्स अकाउंट में मिलते हैं अमेजिंग बेनिफिट्स, पेपरलेस बैंकिंग एंड हायर इंटरेस्ट, वो भी हर महीने। मनी 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 एवरी मंथ।
सोच बदलो और बैंक भी।
Like I said before, we better hold the sins. Like I said before, we better hold the sins.
But this is the first time I'm meeting Saif, the tiger enthusiast.
Of course.
Truly iconic big cats.
Lions, we have Paro.
Not Devdas's Paro, I assume.
The valor of the Maharajas and the might of the tigers is going to be wild.
When the South spoke, she was there. From the rise of Vijay to exclusives that defined the story. When the narrative was questioned, she stood by the numbers.
This seems more of a mandate saying, look, a new person has come in, we need to give him a chance.
From first lead to final verdict, every moment tracked.
South Tamil Nadu, the TVK is ahead at 21.
5 days, non-stop, at the epicenter of action. And when history was made, she was the only one inside. Akshita Nandagopal, the voice of the South, tops the list of journalists with maximum engagement on X. Only on India Today.
Talapati Vijay. The name is enough. From being a superstar to Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, Vijay has come a long way. One thing in his spectacular journey has remained unchanged: the selfie culture. From the name-ready selfie during the Master movie trailer event which went viral, or his selfie at the oath-taking ceremony. It has always been lights, camera, action for Talapati. Since stepping into politics, he has consistently been seen engaging with fans through photographs and selfies at public events. Wherever Vijay goes, he is always ready to say cheese. With Simran Saroa, Bureau Report, India Today.
Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Vijay has now questioned the fuel price hike by the central government. Questioning the timing of it, he's called it unacceptable. He says this will be a burden for poor and for the middle class in the country. Chief Minister Vijay has also questioned the timing, saying this has happened right after the elections in 4 states and 1 union territory, suggesting essentially that the government held back right up until now. Now, one of the questions that's constantly being asked, and Vijay has raised that too, is why do benefits not get passed down to the common man, and yet when there's a price hike, that's being passed down to the common man. So you've got one more voice now questioning the union government, and it gives you a sense really of where Vijay stands in the scheme of things. The fact that he's taken a line that the opposition has in questioning the central government. We're going to continue tracking all of those reactions for you here on India Today. That's all we have time for on this broadcast. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you same time Monday.
Act of desperation by a farmer in Maharashtra. Bhagwan Sable set 600 sacks of onions on fire after traders quoted a price of 1 rupee per kilo. The farmer from Tintaraj village in Dharashiv district had spent over 80,000 rupees per acre for cultivation. Earlier, he had sold 70 sacks of onions for just 4,000 rupees.
मैंने वो एक गाड़ी मार्केट में प्याज की लेके गया तो सिर्फ मुझे 1 रुपए का भाव मिला. जब 1 रुपए का ही भाव मिल रहा है तो प्याज रख के मैं क्या करूं, इसलिए मैंने वो 600 बोरी को आग लगा दी.
There is widespread resentment among farmers in Marathwada. Farmers in the region have faced a double blow this time, falling prices and unseasonal rains. They are struggling to recover even their production costs.
अभी मंडी में फिलहाल वक्त आपकी लागत तो पूरी इतना भाव है?
नहीं, कुछ भाव नहीं, उसको 100-200 रुपए कुंटल चालू है.
कितना रुपए कुंटल जाना चाहिए?
कम से कम 2000 रुपए कुंटल जाना चाहिए.
सरकार से कुछ कहना चाहिए?
हमें भाव चाहिए कम से कम 2000 रुपए कुंटल.
भाव चालू आहे 100 पासून तर 500 लोक. खर्च येईल आम्हाला 70,000 रुपये, आणि ते बी बाहेरून सगळं उधारी दुकानदाराचं. बी भरण फवारण्या सगळं बाहेरून आहे.
Most farmers are facing a debt problem. They are now hoping for relief from the government. Bureau Report, India Today.
taking vitamins every day, but not sure if you're taking them right. Well, it turns out timing can make a big difference to how well your body absorbs them. This is something that confuses me all the time. The big question here is, you're taking these vitamins every day, but how much are you thinking about how well your body is absorbing them? The timing of this is really important, isn't it, Dr. Gaikwad?
Yes, timing is most essential while taking vitamins or nutrients, because some nutrients absorb better when they are taken with the fat, some vitamins better absorb on empty stomach, or some vitamins and minerals or nutrients compete with each other. So for example, vitamin D taken on empty stomach is not going to utilize properly. If I take vitamin D with fat, it is going to absorb well. For vitamin C, it is water soluble vitamin. I can take it anytime, but in morning hours it is better, because vitamin C is important for energy metabolism and immunity formation. So I can take it in the morning hours with water.
Which are the two vitamins or more than two vitamins that we should not mix, doctor, and why?
No. For vitamins, you can take it anytime, or you can take. See, fat soluble vitamins need fat in their diet, and water soluble vitamins, they don't need any specific milk type.
Okay.
सेविंग्स अकाउंट में मिलते हैं अमेजिंग बेनिफिट्स, पेपरलेस बैंकिंग एंड हायर इंटरेस्ट, वो भी हर महीने।
मनी 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 एवरी मंथ। सोच बदलो और बैंक भी।
She's the kind of girl I need. It's the sunshine in her eyes, and you just can't miss the vibe. See the dimple in her cheek, she makes me go wiggle off the dress. Got my heart in a mess.
अपनी लिमिट क्रॉस करने की कोशिश मत करो, समझे?
Love stories fade.
नहीं बनना है मुझे जिया का पिया. We Dugarpur men are not cut out for marriage.
Stars move on.
किसी ने शादी नहीं की. Did you know that?
यही तो प्रॉब्लम है आप लोगों में, जहाँ रेत देखते हो आप लोग लेट जाते हो।
And franchises disappear into nostalgia.
Hi, I'm Anjali.
I'm married. I mean Vinay Malhotra.
Happy. But every once in a while, Bollywood opens an old diary, and a forgotten romance suddenly begins breathing again.
जो गिफ्ट मैं चाहूँगा वो देना पड़ेगा।
As you know, बदमाशी।
And now one of the most chaotic, emotional and star-studded love stories of the 2000s may finally be getting a second chapter.
कोई देख लेगा।
रे बावली, कौन क्या देखेगा? आज तक मन ने कुछ ना देखा। प्लीज, आज ना रोक।
Nearly 20 years after Salamesh hit theatres, director Nikhil Advani is reportedly ready to revisit the world of romance with a sequel to the multi-starrer drama.
साथ मिलकर उसे खूबसूरत बनाएंगे। लेकिन अगर तुम साथ ना रही, तो ना मेरा आज है, आने वाला कल।
According to reports, the filmmaker is planning Salamesh 2, which would also launch a larger franchise built around interconnected love stories and relationships.
तो तुम आ ही गई।
मैं आ गई।
तो तुमने मुझे ढूंढ ही लिया।
ढूंढ लिया।
Reports further suggest that the makers are aiming for a more contemporary approach to storytelling, while retaining the emotional tone of the first film.
तो तुम भी भूल गई? How convenient.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
This is a new beginning. A new era.
After a sweeping electoral mandate, Vijay assumed office as Chief Minister. One of his early decisions was to appoint his astrologer as officer on special duty in CMO. Pandit Ricky Radhan Vetrivel, who is considered the man behind Vijay's cosmic connection, quickly came under scrutiny from both allies and the opposition. As controversy escalated, Vijay maintained that his government is committed to good governance and would examine the matter. Following the backlash, the Chief Minister has now revoked Pandit Ricky Radhan Vetrivel's appointment as OSD. The AIADMK took potshots at Vetrivel after his appointment was scrapped, wondering why the astrologer could not predict his own fate. However, sources in TVK described Vetrivel as an important figure in Vijay's journey. He is credited with predicting TVK's political tsunami. Vetrivel reportedly linked TVK's numerology with Vijay's rise in politics. He was once closely associated with late Chief Minister Jayalalitha. He reportedly predicted that Amma would avoid conviction in the disproportionate assets case. But she was convicted and jailed in 2014. After the verdict, Jayalalitha distanced herself from the astrologer. Many of Vetrivel's claims have sparked controversies. In an earlier video, Vetrivel advised chanting mantras to avoid heart attack. Revoking the appointment of Vetrivel as OSD is the first rollback by the Vijay government. The more pertinent question is, why was an astrologer appointed in the CMO? With Pramod Madhav and Anagha Keshav, Bureau Report, India Today.
Co-powered by Candair Lifestyle Jewelry from Kalyan Company. Co-powered by Jindal Stainless. Co-powered by Sharda University. The world comes together at Sharda. Where are you?
Good evening, you're watching To The Point. I'm Preeti Chaudhary. Our top focus, two cracker of debates lined up for you. But first up, as usual, allow me to take you through the headlines. Your fuel gets costlier from today. Petrol and diesel prices go up by ₹3 per litre across India. CNG prices up by 2 per kilogram. Politics erupts over fuel hike. Opposition hits out at the Modi government. BJP defends. Days after Prime Minister Modi Bachat message, 50% Supreme Court staff to work from home, judges to carpool, virtual hearing on Monday and Fridays. After leakage, NEET re-examination on June 21st. Union Education Mantri breaks silence, assures strict CBI probe into leakage, says re-examination because government wants merit over mafia.
सीबीआई गहरा तक जाएगी, किसी को इस बार बख्शा नहीं जाएगा। सीबीआई ने तुरंत कार्रवाई किया है, सीबीआई इसको तह तक जाएगी।
After handshake and hugs in UAE, Prime Minister Modi departs for Netherlands. UAE President NDZ personally sees off Modi. Prime Minister bats for peace in West Asia, condemns strikes on UAE. Big win for Hindu side in Bhojshala matter. Madhya Pradesh High Court declares Bhojshala a Saraswati temple, asks the Muslim side to approach government for separate land. Bengal Chief Minister Suvendu suspends ex-Kolkata CP over RG Kaur case. Suvendu says RG Kaur case was mishandled then, seeks report from Home Department on cop's role. All right, big development coming in the NEET paper leak case. NEET UG paper leak kingpin has finally been arrested by the CBI. PV Kulkarni, chemistry lecturer, was involved in the process of examination on behalf of NTA. He had access to the question papers. PV Kulkarni has now been arrested at Pune after thorough interrogation. He originally belongs to Latur. In the last 24 hours, CBI has also conducted searches at several locations across the country and seized several incriminating documents, evidence, electronic gadgets and mobile phones. Detailed forensic technical analysis of the seized item is going on. But the latest is that the mole who leaked the NTA, the NEET paper was from the NTA. That's the latest, and he has now been arrested. To give you details of that, PV Kulkarni has been arrested from Pune. Who PV Kulkarni was, he was a chemistry lecturer involved in the process of examination on behalf of NTA. So he was part of the National Testing Agency. This is also somewhere down the line, viewers, egg on the face of NTA. From 2024, there has been a repeated demand for a clean-up and a relook where NTA comes into question. I want to quickly cut across to my colleague Devesh, who's breaking this news on India Today. Devesh, give us more details. PV Kulkarni, a professor, a chemistry professor, and was involved in the entire process of the examination and the papers. He was a part of the NTA, I believe. Will you give us more details?
Well, PV Kulkarni is a professor, he's a retired professor. He used to work as a chemistry professor at Dayanand College in Latur. After that, he was running private coaching classes for NEET preparation at Latur itself. Latur is an educational hub. It's a district where a lot of NEET aspirants go to prepare for NEET examinations, and it is one of the hubs, educational hubs in the state of Maharashtra. PV Kulkarni was running this private coaching classes and also was part of the NTA, which set up the question paper for NEET examination 2026. His role came to light when Manisha Wagmare from Pune was arrested. Now let me bring in the grid, the network. Shubham Khairnar from Nashik, he has been arrested. Shubham Khairnar supplied the paper to Yash Yadav in Gurugram. Yash Yadav supplied the paper to Biwal family in Rajasthan, and from there the case came to light. Now, Shubham Khairnar has links to Dhananjay Lokhande. Dhananjay Lokhande has been arrested from Ahilyanagar in Maharashtra. Dhananjay Lokhande has links to Manisha Wagmare in Pune. Manisha Wagmare has been arrested, and Manisha Wagmare had links to Professor P.V. Kulkarni in Latur, who had been a participant in setting up the NEET examination paper for the 2026 examinations, and now he has been arrested. We had highlighted this on India Today a few hours ago that P.V. Kulkarni has been taken to Delhi. He has been detained by CBI, and he is a suspect in leakage of the NEET examination paper 2026. And now it has been confirmed by the CBI that P.V. Kulkarni has been arrested. He is one of the key accused who leaked the NEET 2026 question paper. Over to you.
All right, Divesh, appreciate you joining us with all the details. The kingpin apparently has been arrested. He was part of the NTA. He was employed by the NTA for paper setting. His name is Professor Kulkarni, P.V. Kulkarni to be precise, a chemistry professor. We're going to continue getting you the details on how the entire web was cast and who were the main people involved. And it, at least for now, leads to one individual, Professor P.V. Kulkarni, who has been arrested now from Pune. He was employed by the NTA. The National Testing Agency also has enough to answer on this account. All right, we're going to continue tracking the details coming in, but let's quickly shift focus to a developing story, which many could suggest could lead to judicial precedent. The Delhi High Court judge, Justice Swarnakanta Sharma, has finally recused herself from hearing the excise policy case involving Arvind Kejriwal and many other leaders from the Aam Aadmi Party. All of this after allegations from the Aam Aadmi Party of quid pro quo, conflict of interest and bias. At the same time, she's initiated contempt of court proceedings against Arvind Kejriwal and many leaders from the Aam Aadmi Party, where she says that disparaging statements were made on her account, especially on social media, and an attempt to intimidate the judiciary. This move now leads to many questions: bias, conflict of interest, and will this set precedent? Because here you had a political leader who questioned a judge hearing his case, calling her biased, said that she had conflict of interest, and at the back of which the judge has recused herself from the case.
New twist to the judicial drama. Justice Swarnakanta recuses herself from hearing excise case while at the same time moving contempt of court against Kejriwal. Meanwhile, Arvind Kejriwal has called the development a victory, claiming that truth has triumphed. High Court Judge Justice Swarnakanta Sharma on Thursday initiated criminal contempt proceedings against AAP leaders. The judge said she will not be hearing the CBI's revision plea against the discharge of Arvind Kejriwal and others in the matter. While Aam Aadmi Party leaders initially sought her recusal over concerns regarding her children's legal roles and previous rulings, Justice Sharma initially rejected this plea before later transferring the case. The judge maintained that a judge who initiates contempt proceedings cannot hear the main case, calling her action judicial discipline rather than a concession to the recusal plea. Justice Swarnakanta Sharma, while ordering contempt proceedings, said, "I refuse to be intimidated." In a strongly worded order, Justice Sharma said vilifying remarks were made against her. She alleged that Arvind Kejriwal and Aam Aadmi Party attempted to intimidate the court. The order further stated that her family was dragged into a digital smear campaign using edited videos. She also said a false narrative was created through a coordinated digital campaign. Now the bigger question arises: does this episode highlight judicial discipline in sensitive cases, or does it open up fresh debate on perception and precedent in high-profile political trials? And will this set a new precedent for how future politically sensitive cases are handled by the judiciary. Bureau Report, India Today.
I want to quickly cut across to Mr. Vikas Singh, former Additional Solicitor General of India, President, Supreme Court Bar Association. Mr. Singh, thank you for taking the time out and joining us. I want to get an understanding of what has really gone down, because politically this is being milked as a political win of sorts, but does it set precedent where a judge now steps back, recuses herself from the case? It can happen again where a particular judge is hearing a case involving a politician. The politician can make a quid pro quo, bias allegations, conflict of interest allegations, and the judge will have to step back.
Well, this is a case, where I feel that what the judge has done now by, issuing criminal contempt, she's not doing any, she's not getting any good image for the judiciary. This was one case where, because she had dealt with the matter at the discharge stage, and she had actually felt that there is a case for charges made out, and she had rejected bail by detailed orders, she should not have heard the matter in the first instance herself. Now, when a recusal application was made, I don't understand why should a judge be interested in hearing a matter. If she has heard the very matter, then there is no question of her wanting to hear the matter again when the matter progresses to a different stage or a later stage in the same proceeding. I am reminded of an order by Justice A.S. Anand when he was in the Supreme Court. If I remember correctly, it was Variku. Some Variku was the party. And he had dealt with the matter in the High Court, not decided the matter, but just issued notice or at a preliminary hearing. And when the matter came to Supreme Court, nobody told him that he had dealt with the matter, and then he heard the matter, and then the matter was placed in review. He, in a judicial order, Supreme Court reported judgment, has said that it is the duty of the counsel to inform the court that if he has dealt with the same matter at an earlier stage, he should not hear the matter. And he rebuked the lawyers for not telling him that he had dealt with the matter. Now here, when Mr. Kejriwal is telling her that she should not hear the matter, and this is a fresh matter, she must be aware that she had dealt with this matter prior to the discharge.
Of course, yeah.
I don't see why she should have not immediately recused. And by doing this, she's giving the judiciary is not getting a good image in this whole process.
But Mr. Singh, can you help us understand? Because yes, she had heard the matter earlier. Even at that time, it wasn't, at least the Aam Aadmi Party and Arvind Kejriwal hadn't taken her head on in court saying that we are not going to attend if she's the one presiding over the case. But enough noises were made in the, in the backdrop. But my question is something which concerns precedent, Mr. Singh. Because from here on, you have a political party that has attributed motive. They say that she's biased, she's ideologically inclined. They say there was quid pro quo involved, there was conflict of interest where her family members were concerned. When a political party makes allegations such as this, and then the judge recuses herself, can this then be quoted as precedent?
So every case will go on its own facts. And I don't think this is laying down any law. In fact, there are enough judgments of Supreme Court where judges have refused to recuse and gone ahead and decided the matter. So she should have also gone ahead and decided the matter rather than following this course. Either you say that a case for recusal is not made out, so then you go ahead and decide the matter. This is something very strange, that you actually recuse from the matter, but you say, no, but I'll rock contempt proceedings. And anybody who's putting it on Twitter or, saying it anywhere, this is a fundamental right of, a very, very important fundamental right of dissemination of information. And if this can be used as a criminal contempt, I think it's a very dangerous precedent. The First Amendment to the Constitution also was to preserve this very right of free speech. And this includes free speech. So I don't see why she's been so sensitive on what has been published, etc. And if I remember correctly, the issues raised were not with regard to her personal bias. It was more with regard to her, I would say, having made up her mind on a particular issue. And accordingly, she will be hearing the matter with a closed mind. And the way she dealt with the appeal on the very first date, the way she granted an interim order on the very first date, that also, according to me, didn't inspire confidence in a matter like this, where she should have issued notice, heard the accused before, because a discharge has happened. It's a very valuable right which has happened in favor of a accused. And after the discharge, you don't even serve the accused and don't wait for him to appear in the matter and pass an interim order with scathing comments. I don't think it was in good taste for her to have done all that and then not recuse.
One final question, Mr. Singh, before I let you go. Does this somewhere down the line further add to the distrust that there is where our political class is concerned and the judiciary? Because increasingly we are hearing, very vocally at that. Because I don't know when was the last time where you had a political leader come out and say that I don't want this judge to hear my case because I think she's biased and ideologically inclined towards a particular party.
Well, this is a very unique case in that sense. And I don't see any political party having done this in the recent past, saying that I don't want this judge to hear the matter. All kinds of judges hear all kinds of matters, and this is very rarely raised. So I don't think this is going to be any precedent. And this is not going to lay down any law or any future for any future guidance of people, In fact, on the contrary, if she had recused from the very beginning, she would have set up a very good judicial precedent and shown the institution in better light. So I think this criminal contempt is further dragging the institution into controversy rather than, trying to show that the institution is getting sort of a better name by doing this criminal contempt.
Mr. Singh, thank you for taking the time out this evening and joining us in India today. We highly appreciate it. Thank you, sir. I'm joined now by Justice Sanjeev Banerjee, former Chief Justice of Meghalaya High Court, former judge, Priyanka Kakkar, National Spokesperson, Aam Aadmi Party, Sanju Verma, National Spokesperson, BJP. I'm really going to try and not put a timer to this debate today because we do have a former judge. I want to keep it free-flowing, but I would really hope that all our panelists respect that. And if not, we'll be forced to put a timer on this debate. I want to go across first to Mr. Justice Sanjeev Banerjee. Justice Banerjee, with how things have played out, because politically the Aam Aadmi Party is saying this is a big win for us. We were very clear that the judge was biased, politically inclined. There was quid pro quo involved. There was a conflict of interest. With the judge now recusing herself, while legal opinion says that every case is going to be different, it will not set precedent, but it somewhere down the line further embeds the distrust that there is between the judiciary and our political class, which now suddenly is finding vocal space. Can you hear me, Justice Banerjee? Okay, I think there's an audio problem with Justice Banerjee.
I can't hear anything. I don't know whether you can.
Okay, I don't think he can hear us. We're going to quickly try and connect to him. I want to cut across right now. Let's go across to our spokesperson and we'll try and attempt to go back to Justice Banerjee. Sanju Verma, let me come to you first. You heard the legal opinion on that. We'll also bring in Justice Banerjee at it. How do you read the developments? Because this has come at the back of a political leader who has said that, listen, you are biased. There's a conflict of interest and you're ideologically inclined to a particular political thought, which I don't belong to that political thought. And then the judge, though, files. All right, we do have Justice Banerjee. We're going to cut across to him. But Sanju Verma, and then, she files contempt of court. She says that there has been disparaging statements made by the Aam Aadmi Party leaders against her, but she recuses herself from the case. Many would think she should have done it earlier. What is the messaging in all of this, Sanju Verma?
First and foremost, let me make one thing very clear. Justice Swarnakanta Sharma is not the accused. Accused is Arvind Kejriwal. Accused is Manish Sisodia. Accused is Sanjay Singh. Accused is Saurabh Bhardwaj. Accused is Durgesh Pathak. I fail to understand if Arvind Kejriwal says, oh, I think Swarnakanta Sharma is politically aligned and has an ideology which is different from mine. How does that make Kejriwal holier than thou? I fail to understand this. Kapil Sibal kept fighting against Ram Mandir and everybody said, Wajiva. The ideological leanings of Kapil Sibal were never put to question. Abhishek Manu Singhvi always picks up those cases which are anti-establishment. But people say, oh, wow, Abhishek Manu Singhvi is doing a phenomenal job. Nobody ever questions Abhishek Manu Singhvi's anti-BJP leanings. Why is it that Justice Swarnakanta Sharma is not allowed to have a political ideology? Why is it that Justice Swarnakanta Sharma is not
But
allowed
Sanju
to
Verma,
have a political loyalty?
if, at the cost of interrupting you, the reason why there's a very clear difference because one is a lawyer and the other one is a judge. And I would think that distinction is very, very clear.
Thank you, Preeti. I'm glad you made that point because this is what I have to say now to you because I know you come very well prepared and so do I. Justice Ranganath Mishra gave a clean chit to the Congress and Rajiv Gandhi after the anti-Sikh 1984 genocide. And after that, Ranganath Mishra was made a Rajya Sabha member on a Congress nomination. Nobody questioned the Congress party. Nobody questioned Ranganath Mishra or Rajiv Gandhi. Then let me give you the example of Justice Baharul Islam, resigned from the Supreme Court in 1983 and got elected as a Congress member of Parliament in the Rajya Sabha. Baharul Islam की political ideology क्या थी? कितने journalists ने इस पर question mark उठाया? None. Justice M. Rama Joyce served as the Chief Justice of Punjab and Haryana High Court before becoming a member of the BJP and being appointed as a governor. So there are examples where it has happened with the BJP and with the Congress party. But I am openly saying, so what if a judge has political leanings? That does not take away from the professional credibility of a judge. My last point, Preeti. There is a man, and this man I have to make a special mention of. Bear with me for 20 seconds. There's a man called Justice Abhay Thipse. He maligned Amit Shah for the longest time in the Justice Loya case. He was hearing Amit Shah's case in the Justice Loya matter in Bombay High Court. 1 minute. He resigned from the Bombay High Court, and do you know, within 2 months, he was inducted as a bona fide Congress member.
All right, ma'am, I'm trying to allow me to go to the other guests now, and I will circle back to you because you named number of judges that were given post-retirement plum posts by the Congress. All of these were discussed, and it's terrible that the Congress did so. And all of these names were taken when Justice Gogoi, without a cooling-off period, was given a Rajya Sabha seat. So it happened during the BJP's term. It happened during the Congress's term. It makes it none the better. And I think one needs to accept that. I want to cut across now. Priyanka Kakkad, I'll come to you. Allow me to bring in Justice Sanjeev Banerjee because we're trying very hard to steer away from a tutu meme type of a debate. So I'm going to bring in Justice Banerjee and I'll come to Priyanka Kakkad after that. Justice Banerjee, you have a judge who is charged of bias by a political party. She recuses herself. At the same time, she files for contempt. How do you view the entire situation? Because many would now seem that this has opened, the doors to now other political leaders coming out and alleging similar kind of bias.
It's very unsavory and could have been avoided. If the judge had expressed a view at an earlier stage, the judge should have realized that there was a possibility of prejudice, and a likelihood of bias, Bias does not have to be actual. As long as there is a likelihood of bias, that is enough. And I think it should have been given a quiet burial by the judge recusing herself. What this brings to the fore, of course, is also the appointments that have happened in the higher judiciary over the last 10 or 12 years. And, more and more politically aware or politically inclined judges have been appointed, or persons have been appointed with political leanings. That is doing a great disservice to the judiciary. The lady from BJP took several names. I don't think anyone raised a finger against Justice Baharul Islam when Justice Baharul Islam was in the Supreme Court. To also remind her that Justice Krishna Iyer, probably regarded as one of the greatest judges India has ever produced, was a Communist Party ticket holder. So therefore, they differ from, case to case. But there are two things which are important. A judge, particularly of the high judiciary, should really have no ambition and should not have too much of an ego. These kind of drive you in the wrong direction. This is not good for the judiciary. And I'm so sad that the judiciary is coming into limelight for the wrong reasons over some time now. And we've got to clean up the house, ensure how the process of appointment is cleansed up. And it's sad. As a former judge, I feel extremely distraught at the recent happenings.
Mr. Banerjee, I'm going to come to you because, one can feel sad, but now what? Because what you've opened the doors to it is tomorrow you could have any case, because it's never happened before. I don't remember the last time a political leader or the head of a political party has come out and said, I don't want you to preside over my case because I think you're biased. To say it, verbalize it and actually say it, and then you have a judge who has to, over time, recuse herself. Many would have thought she should have just done it earlier in the spirit of the judiciary, and that hasn't quite happened. I'll circle back to you on that. I want to bring in Priyanka Kakkar back into this conversation. Priyanka Kakkar, you have what you're calling today a political win is just a judge recusing herself. She doesn't want it to get more vitiated. She's also filed contempt charges where she says that there has been a deliberate attempt by Mr. Kejriwal and other members of your party to defame her and attach motive.
Let me first begin by please addressing two things that Sanju Verma ji of the BJP said. One, let me please clarify that Arvind Kejriwal and Aam Aadmi leaders have been discharged. They're not an accused. So please refer to them properly, with respect. Secondly, she also said, so what if a judge has political leanings? I'm joined on this debate by really esteemed panelists here. So you can ask how politically incorrect or even otherwise incorrect that statement is, because judicial independence and judicial integrity, you just cannot say this. It is inki shamelessness to this extent that this is what they're saying. It appalls me as a lawyer. Now, also coming to this, see, from the very inception, Arvind Kejriwal ji and other Aam Aadmi Party leaders had a very simple demand that they apprehend bias in their mind because of XYZ factors. 12 reasons were given and they respectfully submitted that kindly recuse yourself from this case. We have the utmost respect for judiciary. Please let me also state that on record, because it is this judiciary which gave us the discharge order. It is this judiciary which under the PMLA case also said that the ED dvesh ki bhavna se kaam kar rahi thi. This is written in the order. It is this judiciary, this Supreme Court, which also hold up the CBI and even called them crooks at one point. That is how they were working. But in this particular matter, because of the past orders that we had and because of, like Mr. Vikas Singh very rightly pointed out before me, that the matter when it came, even before giving an opportunity to the accused.
So you're saying your hand was forced to make the claims
now, please,
and the allegations that you did. That's what you're saying, Priyanka. I would want to give all of you just 2 minutes time, each, exactly 2 minutes. Let's get the timer on. And I'll come back to you, ma'am. Allow me to come back to you. You'll get your 2 minutes. Make your point there. So let's get the timer back on. And I want to bring in Sanjeev Banerjee first, and then I'll cut across to the two ladies. Mr. Banerjee, coming back now to the situation that we're in, because tomorrow, now you've opened the floodgates to any political party, any political leader who'll come out and say, I think you're biased, because there was a certain level of reverence that you had the judiciary at. And today, that halo somewhere down the line is gone.
It is primarily in the manner and mode of appointment, primarily the people who are being picked and chosen sometimes ahead of others at every level. And the other thing is that if it is true, I don't know if it is true, why should a judge be visiting any political, celebration or anywhere which bears a political platform? These are things which are not expected of a judge. And if that gives rise to a likelihood of bias and it is so expressed, the judge should accept that and not carry the matter forward by issuing contempt notices and bring even, more rubbish into the system, so to say. It is painful. The independence of the judiciary is now seriously questioned, and if people lose faith in the judiciary, then everything in democracy is gone. That's the last place where people can run to save their rights And the courts are supposed to respect rights, respect citizens, and recognize rights for them. And if the faith in the judiciary erodes, there's nothing left of democracy.
All right, sir, fair point. I want to cut across now to Sanju Verma, and I'll bring in Priyanka Kakkar. You have 2 minutes each, Sanju Verma, to put your point forward. Go ahead. Go ahead, Sanju Verma. Can you hear me? Sanju Verma, can you hear me? All right, there's a problem with the audio. Okay, we're going to try and connect to Sanju Verma. Let's bring in Priyanka Kakkar first. Priyanka Kakkar, I want to bring you back for 2 minutes. Your time starts now because you also now face contempt charges, not just Arvind Kejriwal, but your entire top brass of the party, which includes the likes of Manish Sisodia, Atishi, Saurabh Bhardwaj, all of them.
Well, Preeti ji, that is also pretty astonishing to me because on one hand, the Judge Sahiba said that there was a social media campaign, but then again singled out only Aam Aadmi Party leaders. And if you will look at the video of Arvind Kejriwal ji, for instance, he has only said that I don't believe I will get justice here because Judge Sahiba goes to RSS programs, and secondly because the central government gives crores in fees to her children, and that the Tushar Mehta ji, the Solicitor General of India, is directly responsible for marking matters to them. So truth is our defense. That is what he said in the video, and that is why he said that he doesn't expect justice before this court and he will not be appearing. So now it's very strange and surprising that while recusing herself now at this juncture, a contempt has been initiated, but we will fight it. I mean, BJP has given us good practice to fight in the court of law. Since our
you have 1 more minute. Do you want to use it, or shall I give it to Sanju Verma?
Oh, please. I just want to bring it to everybody's notice that BJP ran a very big campaign against us for the past 3-4 years. They vilified us through and through. They made allegations which could not stand in court at all. The PMLA court, they were completely anti. The ED, the trial court has given us a discharge, honorable discharge, and said that the entire case was merely based on hearsay. So this entire vilification campaign by the BJP of the Aam Aadmi Party leaders has failed miserably, and therefore you see Sanju Verma making such absurd statements even about judges right now.
All right, Sanju Verma, your 2 minutes time starts now. You know, Sanju Verma, we had Mr. Sanjeev Banerjee, Justice Sanjeev Banerjee on the show as well. And he also said, you know, that while you are a sitting judge, you might have a political ideology, but to align it with visits, to wear it on your sleeve as a judge is problematic, as per a former sitting judge, ma'am. And what you said earlier was that, so what if she's politically inclined?
You know, Preeti, let me make one thing again very, very clear. हिंदी में कहावत है, उल्टा चोर कोतवाल को डांटे, चोरी ऊपर से सीना चोरी. The man who's at the epicenter of the Delhi liquor scam is the co-founder of Aam Aadmi Party, Arvind Kejriwal, Manish Sisodia, and their retainers, Durgesh Pathak, Saurabh Bhardwaj, what have you. But instead of Kejriwal being questioned, look at the audacity. I'm not talking about you, but look at the narrative. Oh, Justice Swarnakanta Sharma has political leanings. She's not going to give a fair verdict which favors Arvind Kejriwal. The CAG, which is a constitutional body, said yes, liquor scam was perpetrated by Kejriwal. Kejriwal's Darbari said, oh, CAG is, biased against Kejriwal. The Delhi High Court gave umpteen judgments. The PMLA court gave umpteen judgments against Kejriwal and his acolytes. But the entire Darbari ecosystem said, Delhi High Court galat hai. PMLA गलत है, CAG गलत है. क्यों भाई? सारे संस्थान, all the institutions are wrong, but अरविंद केजरीवाल राजा हरिश्चंद्र का चौथा अवतार है क्या? And Priyanka Kakkar says Sanju Verma is making absurd statements. I just want to tell her, if she is a lawyer, then I am a rocket scientist. She is not a practicing lawyer of repute, nor am I a rocket scientist. I will end by saying one thing. Hats off once again to Swarnakanta Sharma for saying, I will not be intimidated. I have found that Kejriwal has engaged in a vilifying campaign deliberately orchestrated to malign me. And I think Judges cutting across political ideologies should stand with Swarnakanta Sharma for refusing to be bullied by a man called Kejriwal. And let me make one thing again very clear to you, Preeti. Do you remember former CJI Sanjeev Khanna when he said 336 crores money trail has been established? Kejriwal even accused Sanjeev Khanna of being a BJP puppet.
But okay, Sanjeev Verma, because I interviewed Mr. Sanjeev Khanna, and Mr. Sanjeev Khanna also said at that point of time, which was in the front page of the Indian Express, that if one starts actually hearing the merits of the case, it will not stand in court. That happens, Sanjeev Verma. So you can quote one part, there is the other part as well. But right now, yeah, I hear you.
You never read out the verdict, which is anti-Kejriwal, Preeti. Come on, you can do better.
Ma'am, you can again, it's rather bizarre that the point with spokespersons from the BJP and the likes of you, Sanjeev Verma, is that you will not, either you are not used to being asked questions, madam, either that's the problem, or you don't want to answer them. You cannot turn on the anchor all the time. It is highly distasteful. You cannot turn on the anchor all the time. It is highly distasteful. Like I said, it's highly distasteful. Either if you do not have the gumption to hear a question, do not come to debates, because on this debate, questions will be asked to both sides of the divide, madam. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate all three people who have joined us this evening. Thank you. We're going to quickly shift focus to our other debate, which pertains to the fuel hike. Once again, the Aam Aadmi Party is feeling the heat, and this time a tad bit after elections. And that is what most political parties are pointing at, that a fuel hike was imminent. The Prime Minister has already given out a series of advice, which says, strap your belts on, that we might need to now move into a bit of smart spending. Well, at the back of it, now there has been a fuel hike of 3 rupees of petrol all across the country. Here's more.
After Prime Minister Narendra Modi's spend-wise mantra amid the escalating West Asia crisis, the fuel shock has finally hit India. Petrol and diesel prices have been increased by 3 rupees per litre across the country. The fuel hike has sparked a fierce political face-off. The Congress has launched a sharp attack on Prime Minister Modi, calling him the inflation man. The party says that with elections now over, the government has begun what it calls vasuli from the public. As the rupee weakens, opposition claims the common man is being forced to bear the burden. Opposition leaders have also questioned the centre over its handling of the crisis, asking why no major relief measures have been announced so far.
2014 से क्या वार सिचुएशन चल रहा है? 2014 कंपेयर कीजिए प्राइस को 2014 ये भाजपा गवर्नमेंट आने से पहले क्या था, आज क्या है?
इनकी जो अप्रोच है वो पब्लिक के खिलाफ है, मेरा मानना है। तभी पिछले 10 साल में 12 साल में कीमतें घट सकती थी, जो डॉलर्स के प्रति डॉलर प्रति बैरल डॉलर का जो इनको लाभ मिला था, बहुत बड़ा लाभ मिला, वो चाहते तो पास ऑन कर देते पब्लिक को।
The BJP has defended the move. The party claims India has witnessed one of the lowest fuel price increases among major global economies despite the international crude shock.
देखिए, पूरे दुनिया में अमेरिका, ईरान, इजराइल वॉर, जो गल्फ का वॉर है, उससे तेल, डीजल और गैस पर दबाव बना है और पूरे दुनिया में तेल की कीमत और गैस की कीमत जितनी बढ़ी है, उसमें भारत में सिर्फ 3 रुपए बढ़े।
But beyond the political war of words, for the Aam Aadmi, the impact is immediate. From daily travel to household expenses, the rising fuel prices are once again set to burn a deeper hole in people's pockets. Bureau Report, India Today.
Our face-off this evening, joining me, Bhavya Narasimhamurthy, spokesperson Congress. Sanju Verma continues to be with us from the BJP. Bhavya, your 2 minutes start now. Where we are is collateral. We have no part to play. This is all the ramifications coming in from West Asia. Why the politics over the fuel rise?
Where their public is involved, politics is obviously involved. Now, when the crude oil prices were going down, we're on a soft decline. The government could have given the benefits to the people of the state. They did not. Now that the crude prices are rising, the government is not able to act like a buffer at all. The inflation is projected to be 6%. And guess what? Look at the timing. Right after the 5 state elections, he increased the LPG price by like 1,000 rupees, almost 900 rupees, the commercial price. And petrol price, diesel price, it's only been increasing. So, let me tell you, from 2014 to 2025, what is the increase in the petrol price? It was 71 rupees when each barrel costed hundreds of dollars. Now it is 97 rupees. Of course, for the past many months, it has been in 90s, when the crude oil was like 60 rupees, 70 rupees per barrel. They could have passed on the benefits to the consumers, the government. They did not do that. That is exactly what we are questioning. Now that it's rising, the Prime Minister just wants to come and say, cut down on the fuel, stop traveling abroad, cut down on your destination weddings, stop buying gold. Is this what an economist does? Is this what administration is? What were they doing? Did they not predict this? The war started when? And what happened after that? Okay, Prime Ministers will ask us to cut down on fuel and all of this, but he will go on a road show. Only after the outcry, he started taking only 2 vehicles as in his motor card. That's not how it works, no? It's not just he's setting example. He's a Prime Minister. This is not just for optics. He needs to do something about this. He can't transfer all the burden on the people.
Sanju Verma, if it wasn't as predictable as it is, it wouldn't have been this amusing. But elections end, and as expected, there's a fuel hike. 2 minutes time starts now.
Preeti, first and foremost, let me make one thing very clear. Globally, Brent crude price is up 81%. Saudi contract prices are up 44%. Saudi Aramco's prices are up 66%. European gas futures are up 72%. And spot LNG prices are up 134%. Lo and behold, globally, crude oil and gas prices have skyrocketed. But in India, we raised petrol and diesel prices by 3 rupees a litre, which in percentage terms is just a 3.2% hike. The war started in late February. 76 days later, there has been a marginal price hike, and the Congress Darbari ecosystem is absolutely rattled. For perspective, let me tell your viewers, I'm sure they will be interested in this data. In United States, between February and May, petrol prices up 44.5%. In Nepal, 38%, South Africa, 33%, Canada, 32%, New Zealand, 31%, Thailand, 30%, China, 22%, France, 21%, United Kingdom, 21%, Australia, 19%, South Korea, 21%, so on and so forth. Every economy globally has been affected by a black swan event. A black swan event called the West Asia crisis, which has not resolved for various reasons. So to isolate the Modi government and blame the BJP is actually Congress living in La La Land. And let me say one more thing. Thank God it is Narendra Modi, and we've only seen a 3% price hike. Manmohan Singh in 2012 raised petrol prices in one go by 8 rupees a litre, and when questioned by media, he said, पैसे पेड़ पर थोड़ी उगते हैं, पैसे पेड़ पर थोड़ी उगते हैं.
All right, last 1 minute each. Bhavya, please go. I only have 2 minutes. 1 minute each. Your time begins now.
Sanju Verma, data can be interpreted in different ways, but while comparing, you need to compare the timeline as well. You spoke about American price rise right now when they are in the middle of a war, right? I'm talking about the past 12 years of your rule. in 2014, the petrol price was 71 rupees per litre, when each barrel cost $100 to $110. Right now, just before the war, where the petrol price in India was 90 plus, each barrel costed only 60 to 70 rupees. And you know what? Diesel price, when Congress went out of power and BJP took over, it was 56 rupees 71 paise, and today it is 90 rupees 67 paise. LPG, it was 412 rupees in 2014 May, and today it is 913 rupees. What are you even saying? In 12 years, you have doubled the prices. What didn't happen for the past 70 years? You doubled that price in 12 years, and you're speaking about this like data can be interpreted.
1 minute, Sanju Verma, your time, because now that's all the time that I have for. Go ahead, ma'am.
Thank you. You know, Preeti, let me remind and educate the Congress spokesperson. Dhyan se suno, madam. January 2014, Manmohan Singh and Sonia Gandhi's kitchen cabinet was in power. LPG 14.5 kg cylinder in Mumbai was 1,270 rupees. In Kolkata, it was 1,292 rupees. In Delhi, it was 1,234 rupees. And in Chennai, it was 1,241 rupees. Isliye shant ho jao. And let me tell you one more thing, Preeti, that in the last 10 to 11 years of the Modi government, from 14 crores, today there are more than 34 crore people who have LPG connections. From zero strategic petroleum reserves, today we have 5.3 LMT of strategic petroleum reserves. And let me also remind your audience, Khatakhat model of the Congress has failed in Karnataka. Value-added tax in Karnataka is how much? 37.6%. Value-added tax in Congress rule Telangana is 39.2%. So BJP ko gyan dene se pehle.
All right, ma'am, that's all the time that we have for. We're terribly out of time. Thank you, both our guests, for joining us. With that, it's a quick break. On the other side, my colleague Gaurav Sawant takes over. Stay tuned.
करंट अकाउंट के साथ मिलता है फ्री यूपीआई क्यूआर ओवरड्राफ्ट फैसिलिटी और एक ही ऐप से बैंक के सारे काम।
सोच बदलो और बैंक भी।
No hacks, no drama. Just the real Korean ritual in every bottle of Aquajet. Infused with Jeju-grown botanicals and powered by K-Beauty Science. Aquajet, now in India.
Like I said before, we better hold the sins. Like I said before, we better hold the sins.
Character, the taste of success.
Like a dream come true, you make me rise with you. In the sky of our own, feels like gravity is gone.
Feels like summer. Monte Carlo, it's the way you make me feel.
The action never stops, and neither do we. From breaking updates to match analysis, from big moments to bigger conversations. This is where sports comes alive, fast, sharp, unfiltered, for the fans who want every update, every story, every headline first. Welcome to Sports Today, your destination for everything sports. Press that bell icon and subscribe now.
Mega rallies, helicopters flying about, road shows. If there was a real issue with what the Prime Minister says, then why not earlier? So the timing will be contended.
no drama, just the real Korean ritual. In every bottle of Aquaje, infused with Jeju-grown botanicals and powered by K-beauty science. Aquaje, now in India.
A multi-state scam, a paper leak like no other. NEET exam cancelled and lakhs of dreams shattered. As CBI probe deepens, more skeletons are tumbling out of the closet. After Shubham Khernar in Nasik, CBI has nabbed another accused, Dhananjay Lokhande from Maharashtra's Ahilyanagar. Dhananjay is the man who gave the NEET papers to Shubham Khernar, after which the papers were circulated in different states. Shubham allegedly sold the papers to a Haryana-based doctor. Shubham Khernar will be taken to Mumbai for further probe. India Today tracked down his flat in Nasik.
Shubham Khernar had gotten the NEET paper and he shared it with multiple people. He purchased the paper for 10 lakh rupees and then sold it for 15 to 20 lakhs to multiple people. Initially, he sold it to a person in Haryana and then to few other people in other states as well.
Later, brothers from Rajasthan's Ramgarh, Mangilal Biwal and Dinesh Biwal, bought the paper from a Gurugram doctor for an aspirant in their family. Meanwhile, possible political links of Biwal brothers has also surfaced. Photos of Dinesh Biwal with Rajasthan Education Minister Madan Dilawar and MLA Mahendrapal Meena has also surfaced, giving a new spin to the probe. Youth wing of both opposition and BJP staged protest demanding action against the culprits. Politics over the case is escalating. Opposition not leaving any opportunity to target centre over the paper leak. While BJP has promised that culprits will face justice.
हर साल पेपर लीक होंगे अगर आपने कुछ नहीं किया तो.
No drama, just the real Korean ritual. In every bottle of Aquaje, infused with Jeju-grown botanicals and powered by K-beauty science. Aquaje, now in India.
तो मेरा जेनजी से सीधा सीधा देश के युवाओं से सीधा सीधा पूछना है कि ऐसे ही चलेगा या कुछ करना है. ऐसे ही हर साल आप देखो 2017 में पेपर लीक हुए, उसके 4 साल बाद 2021 में हुए, उसके 3 साल बाद 2024 में हुए, उसके 2 साल बाद 2026 में हुए, अब उसके 1 साल बाद 2027 में होंगे और हर साल पेपर लीक होंगे अगर आपने कुछ नहीं किया तो. अगर नेपाल का और बांग्लादेश का जेनजी सड़कों पे उतर के अपने देश की सरकारों को बदल सकता है तो हमारे देश का जेनजी पेपर लीक करने वाले मंत्रियों को जेल नहीं भेज सकता है. मुझे अपने देश के जेनजी पे पूरा भरोसा है. ये देश आपका है. इस देश के नेताओं को इस देश में कोई इंटरेस्ट नहीं है.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com. Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
No drama, just the real Korean ritual. In every bottle of Aquajet, infused with Jeju-grown botanicals and powered by K-beauty science. Aquajet, now in India.
The spotlight was blazing. The crowd was roaring. And yet, behind the music, a storm was quietly building. Because when global Punjabi superstar Diljit Dosanjh took over Calgary with another electrifying concert, it wasn't just the music that grabbed headlines. It was the controversy unfolding in the crowd. Diljit Dosanjh made headlines after he briefly halted his performance during the Aura 2026 concert and asked his security personnel to remove audience members waving pro-Khalistani flags. And now the singer has finally addressed the controversy. Reacting to the incident, Diljit said that he would not tolerate anyone creating trouble for fans at his shows. He even mentioned that the issue was not about any banner or flag, but about the intention behind it. So what exactly happened? Diljit Dosanjh briefly halted his performance during his ongoing Aura Tour concert in Calgary, Canada, after members of the audience were seen waving pro-Khalistan flags. On noticing the flags, he stopped the show mid-performance and asked those involved to leave the act aside. He also directed the organizers to remove the individuals from the venue. The controversy reportedly began in October 2025 when Dosanjh appeared on Kaun Banega Crorepati 17 and touched Amitabh Bachchan's feet on stage. During the episode, Bachchan praised him for his contributions towards flood relief efforts.
क्योंकि इनका ये काम है, हमारा ये काम नहीं है, हम तो कलाकार हैं, हम सिर्फ साथ खड़े हो सकते हैं इनके, लेकिन इन्होंने हमारा बहुत सपोर्ट किया। तो अब पंजाब जैसे जख्मी जरूर है, लेकिन सर खड़ा हो जाएगा अपने पैरों पर। वाह, क्या बात है।
Presented by Adani, हम करके दिखाते हैं।
Good evening, you're watching India First. I'm Gaurav Sawant. It's a historic verdict by the Indore bench of the Madhya Pradesh High Court on the Bhojshala complex. The court after perusing documents, going through the Archaeological Survey of India report, has categorically declared the Bhojshala complex a temple. And this is a division bench of the High Court. The court has also cancelled the Archaeological Survey of India order that permitted Muslims to offer namaz at the Bhojshala temple complex on Fridays. The division bench, a two-judge bench of the Madhya Pradesh High Court, the Indore bench, declared that the Bhojshala complex is a temple, whether it's on a Tuesday or a Friday. It quashed the ASI circular that permitted Muslims to offer namaz there on select days. A division bench also said that the Muslim side is free to approach the Supreme Court and seek separate allotment of land for a mosque to be built in the same Dhar district, but not the same place. The court said, and I quote, "We have found that nothing ever interrupted the continuity of Hindu worship at this site. We record this conclusion that historical literature and records established that the character of the disputed area was that of a Bhojshala, a center of Sanskrit learning associated with Raja Bhoj of the Parmar dynasty." Unquote. Regarding the demand of the Hindu side for the repatriation of the idol of Ma Saraswati, of Vag Devi, that's currently at a London museum in the United Kingdom, the court directed the government to consider this request. Also noted that the Muslim side is free to present its views before the government as well, not just courts, but the government as well. Waqar Sadiq, the Sheher Khazi or the head cleric of Dhar city, said they will study the judgment and challenge it in a superior court. The Archaeological Survey of India, in its report filed on the 15th of July 2024, in the chapter titled Brief Findings of the Survey, said, citing scientific examination of the archaeological remains, that the retrieved architectural remains, sculptural fragments, large slabs of inscriptions with literary texts, inscriptions on pillars, suggest that a large structure associated with the literary and educational activities existed at the site. The Hindus said that the Bhojshala complex is a temple dedicated to goddess Vag Devi, Ma Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge. The Muslim side had contended that it is the site of the Kamal Molla Mosque. Now, according to an arrangement in 2003, the Hindus were permitted to perform puja at the complex on Tuesdays from sunrise to sunset, while Muslims were free to offer namaz on Fridays from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. The High Court said the Muslim community may approach the Madhya Pradesh government for allotment of separate land within the Dhar district for construction of a mosque or prayer facility. The bench said this could be considered in order to secure the religious rights of the Muslim community and ensure complete justice between the parties. It added that such allotment, if sought through a proper application, should be made according to law and could include land for associated religious facilities and also for the administration of the said place. Scientific survey report and ASI report, the High Court, which had ordered the ASI to conduct a scientific survey at the Bhojshala temple complex on the 11th of March 2024. The ASI began the survey on the 22nd of March 2024, and after a detailed 98-day-long exercise, submitted its report to the High Court on the 15th of July. And this is a report that's over 2,000 pages. The ASI indicated that massive structures dating back to the reign of the Parmar kings of Dhar, they predated the mosque, and that the current disputed structure was built using repurposed temple components. Now, a lot of reactions that are coming in on this. Let me quickly get you the reaction of Waqar Sadiq on Bhojshala. Let me get you other reactions, both of the Muslim side, the Hindu side, and on the next course of action. What's the plan of action? Listen in.
हाई कोर्ट के फैसले की समीक्षा करेंगे, हमारे खिलाफ जो फैसला हुआ आर्गुमेंट के खिलाफ, तो यकीनन हम लोग सुप्रीम कोर्ट जाएंगे। उसमें सुप्रीम कोर्ट में प्रथम वक्त में ही जाके चुनौती देंगे और मुझको लगता है कि सारे आर्गूमेंट के बाद हम न्यायालय का सम्मान करते हैं, लेकिन ये जो फैसला आया है इसके खिलाफ हम सुप्रीम कोर्ट में अपील करेंगे।
ये न्यायालयीन लड़ाई 2022 में हिंदू फ्रंट फॉर जस्टिस के हरिशंकर जी जैन, विष्णु जी जैन, रंजना अग्निहोत्री जी और विनय जोशी जी के साथ चालू हुई थी, जिसके अंदर बाद में एएसआई ने वहाँ का भोजशाला का सर्वेक्षण करा, रिपोर्ट पेश हुई और माननीय उच्च न्यायालय और माननीय सुप्रीम कोर्ट में लगातार ये सुनवाई का क्रम जारी रहा। और आज इस फैसले का हम स्वागत करते हैं। हमारी पूरी आस्था भारत के संविधान में और न्यायपालिका में है, और साथ ही जो है जो माननीय न्यायालय ने जो निर्णय दिया है वो कहीं ना कहीं पूरे हिंदू समाज की आशा और अपेक्षा के अनुरूप दिया है।
अभी जो लोग इसको अपनी जीत मान रहे हैं, जीत नहीं मानना चाहिए। ठीक है, एक निचली अदालत का फैसला है, अपर कोर्ट जाएंगे, अपर कोर्ट जो भी तय करेगा। मैं मुसलमानों से एक अपील और करना चाहता हूं, इसमें भावुक होने की जरूरत नहीं है, इसमें अग्रेसिव भी होने की जरूरत नहीं है। जैसे हमने बाबरी मस्जिद की लड़ाई को लड़ा है, खुलूस के साथ, ईमानदारी के साथ, प्रेम के साथ, हम इसी तरह ये लड़ाई भी लड़ना चाहते हैं। अगर कोर्ट की हमारे देश की अदालत ये कह देती है कि तुम्हारा अधिकार यहाँ भी नहीं है, तो हम उसको भी मानेंगे, क्योंकि इसके अलावा हमारे पास कोई अल्टरनेट है भी नहीं, कोई रास्ता भी नहीं है।
ये पूरे मध्य प्रदेश की नहीं, ये पूरे देश की जीत है। राम मंदिर के बाद ऐतिहासिक फैसला है। इस फैसले पर सनातनियों को और हिंदुओं को उत्साह मनाना चाहिए। 1010 से लेकर के 1055 तक, मैं सन की बात कर रहा हूँ, सन 1010 से सन 1055 तक राजा भोज के द्वारा स्थापित सरस्वती का ये स्थान, जिसे कालांतर में जो पूरे भारतवर्ष में होता है, मुस्लिम आतताइयों ने अपना स्थान बना लिया। ये सबसे पहले तो स्वागत योग्य फैसला है। इसमें जो लोग लगे हैं सब साधुवाद के पात्र हैं।
लंबे समय तक धार और उसके आसपास के सनातनियों ने संघर्ष किया, इसके बाद आज न्यायालय के द्वारा उनको जीत हासिल हुई है। ये कैसी विटंबना है कि जो दुनिया को न्याय देता था उस परमात्मा को भी आज न्यायालय के शरण जाना पड़ता है। पर फिर भी न्यायालय के प्रति जो हमारी उदारता है, न्यायालय के प्रति जो हमारा दृढ़ विश्वास है कि सत्य जीतेगा, सत्य पराजित नहीं हो सकता, आज उस सत्य की जीत पर मैं करोड़ों हिंदुओं की कुर्बानी के बाद भी उन बलिदानी सूरवीरों को नमन करता हूं। और सनातन की ये जो विजय हुई है, ये जो जीत हुई है, ये जो न्याय मिला है, इस न्याय का हम सम्मान करते हैं।
AIMIM Chief and Member of Parliament Barrister Asaduddin Owaisi cries foul over this Bhojshala verdict. Asaduddin Owaisi, who is a barrister at law, he says that setting aside facts, the judgment was given on belief. Asaduddin Owaisi insists that for the past 700 years, namaz was being offered at the masjid. This verdict, according to Asaduddin Owaisi, is a violation of the Places of Worship Act 1991, and he believes that the judgment is erroneous, and he hopes that when this matter is taken up in the Supreme Court, they will get justice on this. I'll get you more on the story, but let's listen in to Asaduddin Owaisi.
मैंने कहा था कि बाबरी मस्जिद राम मंदिर का जजमेंट गलत जजमेंट है, जो आस्था की बुनियाद पर दिया गया है, और मैंने कहा था कि ये जजमेंट जो आज उस वक्त आया था, ये ऐसे कई चीजों को खोल देगा। आज देख लो आज क्या हो रहा है। जिस जजमेंट का मैंने हवाला देकर कहा था कि देखो ये जजमेंट से कई चीजें खोली जाएंगी, अब रिलीफ भी आइडेंटिकल है, कंप्लीटली रिलीफ आइडेंटिकल है कि वहां पर पूजा होगी, नमाज नहीं होगी। मैं 700 साल से वहां पर नमाज पढ़ रहा हूं। कोई पीआईएल डालता है 226 में और कोर्ट कैन नॉट पास एन ऑर्डर ऑन डिक्लेरेशन ऑफ पोजेशन और टाइटल, आप टाइटल दे देते हैं उनको, जबकि सिविल सूट चल रहा है उसका।
And joining me now on this big story is the man of the moment, Advocate Vishnu Shankar Jain, lawyer of the petitioner, someone who's campaigned very hard. He got facts together and then approached courts. Mr. Vishnu Shankar Jain, welcome. What points did you rely on to decisively put to rest this controversy, whether this was Ma Saraswati's temple or a Khalam Maula mosque? Because Asaduddin Owaisi, and you just heard him, he seems to indicate that this is bad in law and is a judgment that's been given on faith and belief and not on facts on ground, or words to that effect.
See, first we have to understand that before the Honorable High Court, Indore bench of the Madhya Pradesh High Court, the order passed by the ASI on 7th of April 2003 was under challenge, wherein the ASI had directed the Hindu side to worship on every Tuesday, and in the same very premise, the ASI had directed the Muslim side to offer namaz on every Friday. So our first bone of contention was that in the place which is where the deity is in full control of the premise in question, where it's a premise of a Hindu temple, a coexistence cannot happen, and direction to offer namaz in a temple premise is erroneous, and the true nature and character of the premise in question must be ascertained. On this demand and on this request made before the Honorable High Court, on 11th of May 2022, the matter was admitted before the Indore bench of the Madhya Pradesh High Court, and later on the Indore bench of the Madhya Pradesh High Court directed the ASI to conduct a survey in the premises in question, and the survey lasted for around 98 days. And 2100 pages report was filed before the Indore bench of the Madhya Pradesh High Court, which proved to hilt that this premise in question is of a Hindu temple. This is the temple of Ma Saraswati, Ma Vagdevi, and the entire religious character of this premise in question is that of a Hindu temple. Various literatures, various historical documents were also cited by us before the Honorable Indore bench of the Madhya Pradesh High Court. And today, that portion of the order passed by the ASI of 7th of April 2003 has been set aside by the Honorable Indore.
So let's for a moment talk about the evidence that you produced to counter what is being claimed, that this is a verdict that came on belief and not facts, and not that ASI report which was able to prove that uninterrupted prayer was conducted here by the Hindus, and that this was a temple of Ma Saraswati. Because the Muslim side says they will challenge the division bench order in a superior court, in the Supreme Court. Now, what are those facts that you will be able to produce, and will you be able to defend this order in the Supreme Court, sir?
Yes, I'm very confident because we have a very strong case on merits. The ASI report is a very important piece of document in this case. Apart from that, we have given various historical documents to show that this is the premise of Ma Saraswati. So if the Muslim side will approach the Honorable Supreme Court, definitely we'll file our caveat before the Honorable Supreme Court, and we will also present our arguments before the Honorable Apex Court when the time comes.
The court order tells the government to make efforts to bring back the idol of Ma Saraswati or Ma Vagdevi from the London Museum, from the UK Museum. Will you rely on the good offices of the government to bring back that idol, or will you move court to seek directions to the government to expedite that process?
See, definitely we have to first file an application. We have already made several representations to the government of India as well as the SI to bring back the idol of Ma Saraswati, Ma Vagdevi. And today the Indore High Court has directed the government to consider this request. And if the government does not consider this request in a time-bound manner, we will again move the government. We will again file our application before the concerned authorities to bring back the idol, which is still existing in British Museum in London.
Mr. Vishwashankar Jain, critics of your petition in court say that the petition itself was a violation of the Places of Worship Act 1991. The religious character of the place as it existed on 15th of August 1947 should remain so. Does that bring into question this verdict by the Indore bench of the High Court?
See, Places of Worship Act 1991 is not attracted in this case by operation of Section 4, Subclause 3, Subclause A, wherein it has been held that Places of Worship Act will not apply to those places which are monuments which are protected under the ASI. So this monument in question, Bhojshala complex, was protected by the ASI under the 1904 Act, which is Ancient Monuments and Preservation Act 1904, as well as by virtue of Ancient Monuments and Preservation Act 1958. So both these acts come within the exception of Section 4.3a. I request you to please show your viewers Section 4.3a. And this monument in question comes within the purview of ASI, and therefore the Places of Worship Act is not attracted. It is not Vishnu Shankar Jain who is saying, it is mentioned in the Act itself.
We have that on air, Mr. Jain. Now, critics also say that your petition, apart from being a violation of Places of Worship Act, will open up Pandora's box. There are other cases that you are fighting for restoration of right to pray.
It definitely, I feel that the judgment passed by the Honorable Indore Bench of the High Court will have some bearing on the issues which are there before the different courts of this country. This is an issue which concerns our entire civilization. This is an issue which concerns the acts of invaders, the cruel acts of invaders who have demolished our Hindu temples in the past. So to restore back to its glory, it's a fundamental duty of each and every individual. So the judgment passed by the Indore High Court will have bearing so far as other disputes are concerned.
You're fighting another case of Sambhal, which you insist is the Kalki Avatar, Harihar Mandir, Kalki Avatar temple that the Muslim side insists is a mosque in Sambhal. But are there other cases like this across the country that you're fighting for restoration of right to worship?
Yes, definitely my petitions are pending so far as restoration of Gyan Vyapi is concerned, so far as Mathura Shri Krishna Janmabhoomi is concerned, Tile Wali Masjid in Lucknow is concerned, Adina Masjid in Bengal is concerned, in Malda, which is Adina Temple, Qutub Minar, Taj Mahal, Bhojshala is already there, Vidisha Bija Mandal. All these things are already for judicial scrutiny before courts of law, and at appropriate time, I feel through legal struggle, we'll be able to restore back our glory.
There are those who say, Mr. Jain, that yes, Ayodhya was an important case. Ayodhya had civilizational value. Then there were those who insist that Ayodhya, yes, and Mathura and Kashi. These are places of civilizational importance for devotees of the Sanatan Dharma in the land of where their religion started. But if you seek justice, as you put it, in different parts of the country, won't it lead to tensions in society? There are those who say that you can't keep looking for a temple under every rock.
Why will it lead to communal tension? We are not on the streets. We are before the court of law. And this is a country which is governed by rule of law. This is a country which is governed by the constitution. They also believe in the constitution. I also believe in the constitution. So everything is happening through constitutional means and constitutional institutions. So it is not about feeling anyone left out. It is the issue about rule of law. If the courts are holding something, you cannot say that, oh, I feel bad or I feel good. It's the court's verdict. After hearing both the sides, their lawyers were given chance to argue the matter. We were given chance to argue the matter. And ultimately, on the facts of each case, the verdict comes. And when the court verdict comes, the feeling don't matter.
Okay, it's a big day for you, Mr. Vishnu Shankar Jain. Many congratulations on your victory. It is a massive, massive verdict. The Indore bench of the Madhya Pradesh High Court has very categorically said that Bhojshala is Ma Saraswati's temple. For joining me here on this India Today special broadcast, many thanks, sir. The big question is, will this verdict settle the issue once and for all, or actually threaten to open up Pandora's box? Let me now throw it open for a wider discussion. Atikur Rahman is a very well-respected researcher of Islamic studies. He joins us on this broadcast. Also with me is Shubhrasta, an author and analyst, perhaps two very divergent views. Atikur Rahman, the Indore bench of the Madhya Pradesh High Court has clearly, on the basis of the Archaeological Survey of India report, concluded that this was a temple. This is Ma Saraswati's temple. The Archaeological Survey of India, sir, recovered a total of 94 sculptures, fragments. The depictions include Bhagwan Ganesh, Brahma, Narasimha, Bhairav, other mythological figures, animals like lions and elephants, horse, snake, tortoise, the presence of Kirtimukh motifs, divine imagery. Where is any of this in any mosque, sir? The question is, should the Muslims not gracefully accept the verdict and move on, take land elsewhere, build a place of worship instead of challenging this verdict in a superior court, sir?
Right. Well, Gaurav, I welcome your suggestion that the Muslims should open their hearts and allow the Hindus to have their civilization say. But
no, sir. Muslims will not allow, sir. Courts have allowed, sir. Courts have allowed. Just for clarity's sake, Muslims challenged it. Courts allowed it. But go on, sir.
No, since you said that the Muslims should do it, I am responding to that. That I also say that the Muslims should do it. But where are the Muslims? Where are the Muslims recognized in the past 10 years, other than demonizing every evening on media channels? Otherwise, even
now you blame media channels, sir.
Yes, not all media channels. Thanks for your this thing. Gaurav, this is not a matter for me, at least concerning Hindus and Muslims. This is a matter of law. For me, I am looking at this particular verdict, that this verdict absolutely goes in violation of the Ayodhya verdict. In the Ayodhya verdict, the Honorable Justices had assured me and the nation that non-retrogression is the principle. The courts here, they said that not are sitting to correct the past mistakes of the past rulers. The court in the Ayodhya judgment assured me that henceforth the Hindus and Muslims will be living amicably. There won't be any further dispute. At that moment, the court, the Honorable Justices were in praise of the 1991 Places of Worship Act. And Gaurav, last point I would like to say, even in the absence of the 1991 Places of Worship Act, the section 16 of the Ancient Monument Act 1958 is having a very, very large say. Even this is in violation, the court is in violation of section 16, Gaurav.
Let me get Shubrasta to respond. RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat in 2022 had said that there is no need to look for a shivling under every rock or words to that effect, or under every structure. Given that statement, and you also heard what Atikur Rahman Sahab had to say, should that not be accepted and move on from what Atikur Rahman describes as a mandir, masjid issue almost every day, ma'am?
So, Gauravji, there are two views to this. And I would most humbly, I not only accept what Mr. Mohan Bhagwat ji said, I also accept what Atikur Rahman ji is saying. But we need to understand certain, moral and emotional positions. Look, the Places of Worship Act, which is always invoked in discussions like these, was enacted as a civilizational compact against perpetual conflict. Because that was post-partition India trying to deal with a lot of violence and trying to deal with a lot of communal tensions. Now, the intention then is understandable. However, today, a newly liberalizing and still fragile republic needs to not be trapped in endless historical dispute, but we need to understand that not everything can be solved constitutionally and legally. I mean, you may, of course, give a certain kind of a statute to say that from here on we do this, but do the moral dilemmas and do the emotional dilemmas get resolved? They don't. So then there is a deeper philosophical...
but it has to be as per courts of law, ma'am. We may be a young republic, but a young republic that moves as per law, or will end up being, like that nasty neighbor of ours on the western side.
I completely agree with you, Gauravji. My limited point that I'm trying to make is that the law of any land, and in this case,
has arguably converted a historical question into an administrative one. And one is all for the administration. Nobody is here. I don't think even Vishnu Jainji, who you interviewed prior to this conversation, nobody is talking about taking to the streets and taking law of the land in their own hand. People are fighting the entire, dispute in a very legal constitutional framework. But because we are here on a television debate, I think we need to also move beyond, courtroom conversations to have more honest, emotional, and moral conversations. My submission is very direct. Emotional and civilizational reconciliation needs something beyond courtrooms. We need to understand that legal settlements alone rarely heal these civilizational wounds. We have examples from post-apartheid South Africa, post-dictatorship Chile, indigenous reconciliation efforts in Canada, Australia, New Zealand. We need to
let me get Atikur Rahman. Okay,
Yeah,
let me
sure.
get Atikur Rahman to respond to a very pertinent point that you raised. Sir, when you raised the Places of Worship Act, and I did put that question to Vishnu Shankar Jain, and he said this is an ASI protected monument, it does not attract the Places of Worship Act. Then Subhrashtra ji raises that point of a festering wound, speaks of reconciliation. After all, places like Ayodhya, Mathura, Kashi, Bhojshala, they have a civilizational impact and influence for the Sanatan Dharma followers. Clearly, for the Muslims, there is no significance of Ayodhya or Mathura or Kashi or the Bhojshala, sir. And yet, you have to battle it out in courts.
Gaurav, I completely agree with Subhrashtra, and I think the Modi government has missed the bus. They had a golden opportunity in the past 10 years to have recognized some liberal Muslim leadership in our country, either political, social, or historical. It could have, had discussions with the Muslim community, some religious leaders, some liberals, some historians like Mr. Irfan Habib and like Mr. The legal laureate, I'm not getting the name, Faizan Mustafa Saab, and that could have built the bridges. So what I think is, if the Muslims are expected to open a big heart towards all these controversial issues, Irfan Habib Saab, the historian, and various other authorities have accepted the fact that there were despot leaders, Muslim rulers who usurped the temple. Is it not a big heart for them to accept this particular folly? Despite this, we all day and night are moving in the court, and right now, since the past 3 months, 9-judge Supreme Court bench now are at the verge of saying that why are we wasting time on issues of faith and legality? So this is a very hard
Irfan Habib will not decide whether Hindus will have the right to worship in Mathura, the Sri Krishna Janbhoomi. That farman is there when Aurangzeb orders its destruction. And you must understand, if Aurangzeb, and I want Subhrashtra to elaborate on it, if Aurangzeb destroyed either Mathura or Kashi, 1669, those farmans are there. I could not, as a Hindu, and I don't mean I mean Hindus could not get justice under Muslim invaders or their descendants. They could not get justice under the British rule. Will they never get justice, Subhrashtra? Will they have to, bear this cross of not being able to pray in their places of worship in the manner in which they would want to, especially in a place of civilizational importance for the Sanatan Dharma, whether it's Ayodhya, Mathura, and Kashi, and they're seeking through a legal recourse through courts of law?
Gaurav, firstly, I need to respond to Mr. Atikur Rahman that, one of the reasons why historical reconciliation in India remains a difficult conversation to be had is because of very polarized historiography. Sections of post-independence academic historians, especially the likes of Irfan Habib, have ensured that they have they have dealt with civilization and religious memory with excessive suspicion. And I don't think, people are going to respond to people like Irfan Habib, in the light that Mr. Atikur Rahman expects the Hindu community to. The question that you asked, Gaurav, is very pertinent. Let me tell you that irrespective of Kashi, Mathura, or in this case, the Vagdevi temple being legally and constitutionally mandated and built, etc., Hindus are going to continue the kind of faith that they have invested in these, not just institutions, but deities. I come from a land, and it's only now that my eyes have opened to see the kind of destruction that has happened. I come from a place in Nalanda, and in our temple, in the temple of our village, one of the Shiv, it's a Shiv Parvati deity, and the nose of the deities are cut off. It's only later that one came to know that it was because of Islamic invasion and all that. However, despite the fact that it's a Khandit Murti, everybody in the home does Ahvan of Shiv and Parvati in, say, a Bel Patra or a Gudhal ka Phool, and we have carried on that tradition. So that is irrespective of whether tomorrow somebody like me puts in a petition to say, or whatever. I'm saying that there are ways to go legally, administratively, constitutionally about it, and we all, as conscientious Indian secular citizens, will continue to fight that battle. But please do not take away from us the historical, civilizational, emotional right to lay claims to religious and spiritual properties that are ours. It's a simple point one is trying to make. Also, Gaurav had the last point that I was raising in the previous remark about these truth and reconciliation commissions that were that came about in all these countries that one mentioned. India needs a similar kind of a structure. And it will come from, I'm sorry to say, it cannot come from Irfan Habib and Romila Thapars of the world. It has to come from perhaps people like Atikur Rahman. He needs to come in a leadership position.
So let me get Atikur Rahman to quickly respond to this. When the initial conversation was, Atikur Rahman, that Ayodhya, Mathura and Kashi, let's talk about this, settle this amicably, so that then you don't have to have these frictions every day. But when there is no movement from the other side, when you talk of so-called Ganga Jamuni Tehzeeb, sir, then if I have to go through courts of law for one place of worship, then why just restrict the effort to one place of worship, and why not reclaim all through courts of law, through legal means?
So, Gaurav, I think if we are trying to sail, in two boats, this won't work. Either Subrashtra has to tell the viewers that she is for civilizational correctness or for the legal course of action. You are suggesting that the legal course of action is the right way. So
absolutely,
in the
legal course of action.
Legal course of action, we were assured in the Ayodhya judgment for non-retrogression. Henceforth, there will be a full stop, and both Muslims and Hindus will be living amicably. Religious disputes were kept, ended 15th August 1947. Now, why are
they may have ended for some. They did not. Those festering wounds remain for others. They may have ended for some, but not for all. But we will have a longer debate on this in times to come. I've run out of time on this part of the show. We're also getting a quick reaction from Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Mohan Yadav on the Bhojshala verdict. The Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister has said that the decision by the Honorable High Court recognizing Dhar's historic Bhojshala as a protected monument and a place of worship of Ma Vagdevi, of Ma Saraswati, is a significant moment in honoring our cultural heritage, our faith, and our history. The dignity of Bhojshala will be further strengthened under the protection and management of the Archaeological Survey of India, and the right of devotees to perform worship will be ensured. The directive to the central government to consider bringing back the idol of Ma Vagdevi back from the United Kingdom to India, according to the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, Mohan Yadav, is commendable. The state government will also make all necessary efforts in this direction. He's reassured his people. The decision of the Honorable High Court, he says, is commendable. The state government will provide full cooperation in ensuring necessary arrangements for its effective implementation. Shifting focus to the other big story we're tracking here on India Today, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to the United Arab Emirates. It may have been short on time, but it's huge in impact, especially on bilateral ties. From inking the Strategic Defense Partnership Framework to critical energy security deals for petroleum reserves to be established in India, LPG, and of course, from a 5 billion UAE investment pledge to maritime and infrastructure MOUs and a ship repair cluster in India. Multiple takeaways from the visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his interaction, that warm interaction that you see images of on your television screens with Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the President of the United Arab Emirates. India and the UAE signed a major agreement establishing a framework for the Strategic Defense Partnership. Now, this builds on earlier defense ties and covers manufacturing. Cyber security is extremely big. Counter-terrorism cooperation is extremely critical. Energy security, and especially given the current situation in West Asia, in the Strait of Hormuz, and considering the UAE is directly impacted by this energy security, deals for petroleum reserves, the LPG pact that includes an MOU on strategic petroleum reserves to bolster India's emergency storage, especially in this times of uncertainty and regional tensions, and a long-term agreement for LPG supplies from the UAE to India. These aim to insulate India to a large extent from oil supply disruptions. The conversation on a $5 billion UAE investment pledge. The UAE is committed to investing about $5 million in India in infrastructure projects, plus stakes in financial entities, for example, the RBL Bank. Now, reports say this supports a broader economic growth structure and energy-related initiatives. Maritime and infrastructure MOUs between India and the UAE. There's been maritime cooperation, civilizational cooperation between India and the UAE or that region that time. Since the time of the Indus Valley civilization. So there's an agreement signed for setting up a ship repair cluster, and this would be in Vadnagar in Gujarat. And this is aimed at enhancing maritime cooperation, shipbuilding and ship repair capabilities. Then the agreement on bilateral engagement. Prime Minister Narendra Modi met the President of the UAE, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, for discussions on energy cooperation, trade, investment, building on the CEPA. So far, the conversations around $80 to $85 billion annual trade. How do you increase that? How do you build on regional security structures and welfare of that large Indian community in the UAE? The Prime Minister condemned recent attacks on the UAE that impacted Indians. The Prime Minister insisted dialogue and diplomacy. That's the way forward. That's the mantra for peace and stability in West Asia. And this was the Prime Minister's message on the first leg of his 5-nation tour. Now, there is a very fragile ceasefire that's currently in place in West Asia. But this meeting becomes all the more crucial after UAE's exit from OPEC. The Prime Minister stopped for a brief visit to Abu Dhabi. As you see in these images, he was very warmly received by the President, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. The Prime Minister condemned the attacks on the UAE. The Prime Minister said the focus must remain on diplomacy. The focus must remain on dialogue to find a solution to the current crisis. He also thanked the President of the UAE for looking after the Indian community in the UAE. Indians residing in his country being looked after very well. The Prime Minister's next stop in this 5-nation tour is the Netherlands, then he'll travel to Sweden, then Norway, and finally Italy. Let's listen in to the Prime Minister. I'll get you more on the story.
यूएई पर हुए हमलों की हम कठोर निंदा करते हैं। यूएई को जिस तरह निशाना बना गया है, ये किसी भी रूप में स्वीकार्य नहीं है। ब्रदर, इन कठिन परिस्थितियों में आपने जिस संयम, करेज और विजन का परिचय दिखाया है, यह बहुत ही सराहनीय है। राष्ट्रीय एकता, सुरक्षा और क्षेत्रीय अखंडता को बनाए रखने में आपके नेतृत्व में उठाए गए कदमों का हम अभिनंदन करते हैं। ब्रदर, पश्चिम एशिया क्षेत्र में युद्ध की परिस्थिति का प्रभाव आज पूरे विश्व पर दिखाई दे रहा है। भारत ने हमेशा समस्याओं के समाधान के लिए डायलॉग और डिप्लोमेसी को प्राथमिकता दी है। हॉर्मुज़ को फ्री, ओपन और सेफ बनाए रखना, ये हमारी सबसे बड़ी प्राथमिकता है। इस विषय में अंतर्राष्ट्रीय कानूनों का पालन आवश्यक है। ब्रदर, भारत हर परिस्थिति में यूएई के साथ कंधे से कंधा मिलाकर खड़ा है और आगे भी खड़ा रहेगा। जल्द से जल्द शांति और स्थिरता की बहाली के लिए भारत हर संभव सहयोग देने के लिए तैयार है।
That's a very important statement by the Prime Minister, that in every situation, India stands strongly, especially in these difficult times, with the United Arab Emirates. I quickly want to bring into this conversation India Today's Foreign Affairs editor Geeta Mohan. Also joining me is Professor Dr. Khinraj Jangir, Professor and Director of the Jindal School of International Affairs. Welcome. Geeta, key takeaway, very short visit, a visit which was short on time, but big on impact. Key takeaway from the Prime Minister's visit, Geeta.
Well, the messaging, it's the enhancing of the defense strategic partnership between the UAE and India that was key. Apart from the Fujairah port deal, the importance over here, Gaurav, is the fact that both countries are looking at mutual interest in security and stability. That's an important message. This comes at a time, Gaurav, when we're looking at a Saudi-Pakistan defense pact that could have far-reaching ramifications for the region and for the neighborhood in India. And in such a scenario, for Prime Minister Modi, while he's embarking on a four-nation tour, he adds a fifth nation, and that nation is the UAE. It's quite clear that they want to have a strategic partnership which is enhanced, which is more wholesome, and which will take care of India's interests in West Asia. If you zoom in or zoom out a little from the West Asia war and the America question in all this, it does seem like one where they would want to have alignments to focus on IMEC or bring back the focus on IMEC maybe after a resolution to the US-Iran conflict, because that is something that has been key to India's growth and connectivity vision. And so the focus is going to be on how to carry that forward, and in that, the UAE becoming a key partner.
Okay, so the India-Middle East-Europe Economic Corridor is something that we will talk about, conceptualized during India's G20 presidency. But Professor, when you look at the situation right now, the Prime Minister's visit, the optics, and what was substantive, a very clear signal being sent to not just the UAE, but to West Asia. India stands shoulder to shoulder with the United Arab Emirates. So symbolism, and what is the key takeaway according to you, sir?
Thank you, Gaurav. I think to begin with, we must keep in mind that this is crisis diplomacy and crisis leadership. I think more than UAE, more than the region, I think Prime Minister is also showing a great amount of assurance to the Indians. Let's acknowledge that in the last 2 months, there was a anxiety, and that anxiety got realized when the Prime Minister went on a national emergency kind of a situation where he advised people to bear the responsibilities. So I think by making this trip, he achieved not only a remarkable success in the region as somebody who is stepping into the region while there is a chaos. India was known to have the the neutrality and the fence sitting. He's confident to take political positioning in this conflict, as your colleague Geeta mentioned. He's certainly making it very obvious that he is on the UAE, Israel, and America kind of understanding on the issue at the moment. And
so we are part of the I2U2, but at the same time, you also have Iran's foreign minister who's currently in India as part of the BRICS foreign ministers meet, Geeta. Taking forward the conversation with Professor Jangir, is India being seen as very clearly as part of I2U2 camp? Or is India equally strong on the BRICS footing, India's bilateral interactions with Iran? How is this all panning out? Because there are several balls that are still up in the air.
Well, it's not a very absolute in one camp or the other. It's not a black or white, Gaurav. But yes, many would say that there is a tilt because just before the war, Prime Minister was in Israel. And whilst the war is on and UAE has shown it's aligned more to Israel, Prime Minister is in the UAE. India is looking at her own interests. Even in a travel to the UAE, the interests are clear. They're looking at the other bigger nation aligned itself to a country that is not a friend of India in the neighborhood. I'm talking about Pakistan and Saudi Arabia. So India is looking at her own interests. But yes, the Iranians are looking at this very closely. And I say this because the Iranian representative and the UAE representative actually had a spat in their own country statements during the BRICS, during a session in the BRICS foreign ministers meeting. So it's very clear that anybody who is looking at an enhanced strategic cooperation with the UAE and is looking at alignment with the UAE is sure to be looked at from the prism of being aligned with Israel and the United States of America. Doesn't bode well for India when it comes to Iran. But Iran also is looking at their own interests, and in that, Gaurav.
Yes, go on, complete your point, Geeta.
I'm just saying that, in that, the fact that Iran is looking at its own interests in that, they would want to remain engaged with India because India is a very important country in the region and Iran needs India as much as India needs to have good engagement with Iran.
Absolutely, and that's the point I was coming to, Professor. Why does it need to be seen in silos or India being in either this camp or in that camp? We are, if it suits India's purpose, in all camps. If it helps us, to remain engaged positively with Iran, we'll see the best that we can get out of Iran, the best that we can get out of UAE, and the best that we can get out of either Israel on one side, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Qatar on the other.
I wish you were right. I think rhetorically it makes sense to use the word multilateral world, but it's not about India's decision making. Let's understand that the geopolitics has fundamentally shifted in the Middle East. The status quo of the Middle East has broken. And in this status quo, India cannot stand with Iran on very tangible interest issues. As Geeta pointed out, India will do what serves its national interest the most.
Yes.
In the region, Indian workers, Indian trade, Indian strategic partnership is one of the most important one with UAE, not with Iran. The only nostalgia that Indians can have with Iran is the civilizational ties. But beyond that, in the contemporary decades, that relationship died, and not because of Israel, by the way. India's relationship with Iran dried up because of India's American nuclear deal in the 2008.
Yes.
And Modi didn't have to come and shift this Indian foreign policy. I think it's Manmohan Singh who shifted this foreign policy in a significant manner, and he started voting against Iranian nuclear program with American proposals. On the BRICS question, I would say BRICS has been swallowed by China and Russia. If you look at the last 4 years, 3 years of the summits, India even abstained when BRIC wanted to pass a blanket resolution against against Israel during the Gaza war, and India didn't want to sign that petition, that resolution. So I think BRICS, maybe 5 years back, was a hope for Indian positioning. It's no more a space India can really maneuver. So India has given it up, to my best of the understanding.
Fair enough. That's such an interesting point that both of you have raised, and this is something that we will continue to talk about. And since you mentioned BRICS, their statement has just come. India has released a chair's statement at the end of the annual BRICS Foreign Affairs meeting in New Delhi instead of a joint declaration, citing differences among member nations over the situation in West Asia. The statement reads, and I quote, "There were differing views among some members as regards to the situation in West Asia, the Middle East region. BRICS members expressed their respective national positions and shared a range of perspectives." Unquote. The BRICS ministers reaffirmed their commitment to tackling terrorism in every form, including cross-border infiltration, terror financing, and provisions of safe havens. It also stressed that terrorism should not be linked to any religion, nationality, civilization, or ethnic group. On the situation in Gaza, BRICS ministers, the foreign ministers, called for an immediate, permanent, and unconditional ceasefire. They urged the full withdrawal of Israeli forces from Gaza and unhindered humanitarian aid access, while reaffirming support for the United Nations Relief and Works Agency. Moreover, the BRICS chair's statement also expressed serious concern over unilateral tariffs and non-tariff measures that it said were not in line with the WTO, with the World Trade Organization rules. The chair's statement emphasized the importance of safeguarding navigational rights and freedom both in the Red Sea and Bab al-Mandab Strait. So this just goes on to indicate how precarious the situation is, not just in West Asia, but also amongst the BRICS member countries. And that's a story we'll be tracking very, very closely. I've run out of time on this part of the show. Many thanks for watching. News and updates continue on India Today. Stay with us.
No drama, just the real Korean ritual. In every bottle of Aquajet, infused with Jeju-grown botanicals and powered by K-Beauty Science. Aquajet, now in India.
Like I said before, we better own the sins. Like I said before, we better own the sins.
Character, the taste of success.
Like a dream come true, you make me rise with you. In the sky of our own, feels like gravity is gone.
Feels like summer. Monte Carlo, it's the way you make me feel.
no drama. Just the real Korean ritual in every bottle of Aquajet. Infused with Jeju grown botanicals and powered by K-Beauty Science. Aquajet, now in India.